But I really didn't want it to go to overtime. I was ready to get back to the room because even though it was only 9 o'clock local time, I'm like, it's 11 o'clock at home.
Yeah.
I'd normally be passed out by 11 o'clock. So I bet if I was at home, it'd have been tough to make it to the end of the game. But anyway,
was.
I know we're going to get to that game too. Yeah, I'm sure it was. But what a game that was, and I know that's on our agenda of things to get to today. But hey, here we are with a new basketball coach, and then a national championship game that goes to overtime is going to have to take back seat to Arkansas basketball.
Yep,
so,
yep, that's right.
That's not norm. That's not the norm here on the program, but
No.
I'm glad it is.
Yeah, I mean, that just shows you the type of situation we find ourselves in when it comes to the content creation. Which, by the way, it's funny because I thought last night's game was supposed to be the worst basketball game ever because of those two teams. At least that's what some of the national media said. It's amazing how that never works out. When it looks like it's going to be a terrible game, ends up being a great game. When it looks like it's going to be this hyped-up machine that's going to be this greatest matchup of all time, ends up being 9-6 in overtime, like the LSU-Alabama game a few years ago. So, it just never seems to have the same luster. But, yeah, we'll get into all of that. And, of course, we'll take your phone calls. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. And then, Tommy, I know I was up at the press conference yesterday at Bud Walton Arena in Fayetteville. I know you got to watch the full press conference and the full video on hitthatline.com, which we have both with Eric Musselman and Hunter Yurchek up there if you want to check out it in its entirety. And to tell you the truth, Tommy, when I was there, and it just kind of going off of my raw reaction to him and to Eric Musselman and just his opening statement and the things that he had to say and the style that he went about it, the really impressed me was, of course, a few things we're going to discuss, but it really impressed me just how he came in and just talked basketball. It didn't seem like there was just this, okay, you got to do some funny pizzazz, popping hashtags and stuff like that to really get the crowd into, to get the people to buy in. It was just, this is my style of play. This is what I expect out of my players. It was basketball, and that's all it was. And honestly, I think that's a breath of fresh air for a lot of Razorback fans to hear.
And I'm just going to, because it's familiar to our audience, I'm going to use Chad Morris as an example.
Right.
There wasn't a left lane hammer down, hashtag rah-rah type moment or two or three in the introductory press conference to win the fan base over. There wasn't, though. It was just like you said. It was basketball, and what I don't want to say won me over, but what impressed me was just some of the facts and some of the things he laid out that really sold me on the fact that this guy, I think, truly wanted the job. I don't have any doubt that how bad he wanted this Arkansas job from the moment. As you put the two press conferences yesterday together, one with Hunter Yurchek and one with him, from the moment those initial phone conversations began, this guy went to work watching film. Mm-hmm. We'll get into some more of those details. It's those kind of things, and the 20 hours or so of film he was talking about watching with all the players to be prepared for the interview that I found fascinating from yesterday. But fans didn't leave with some new hashtag.
Right.
To surround Razorback basketball with, some new identity phrase to say, all right, Arkansas basketball is now hashtag this, muscled up. We're all muscled up, or some phrase. What I found was a guy that was very prepared for the job interview, very prepared. It appeared yesterday for that 23 or so minutes that he met with the media, and has appeared to be prepared for every step of this process so far to get his first Power 5 job. So, deductive reasoning tells me he's going to be very prepared, to coach this basketball team. Now, does that mean he's going to, win 25 or more games this first year and take the team to the tournament? No, but I do think he'll be prepared to run a successful basketball program given an appropriate amount of time.
Yeah, because that's what's going to come down to is just making sure that he has the time to do it. And I think it really stood out to people, too, where they had this video that they put out before the press conference of Eric Musselman talking to the team at Hunter Yurchek's house, like Sunday night after he had arrived, and he was talking to the entire team. And one of the things that really stood out is he said, hey, guys, I've watched this film, like you alluded to, Tommy, how much film he watched on this team.
Right.
He says, I've watched this film, and there's more talent on this team right now than the team that I had at Nevada that went to the Sweet 16. This team can go to the Sweet 16. Now, that of course, may have just been one of those things that it's like, hey, I'm trying to build this confidence and show these guys to believe in me, which I think had a lot to do with it as well. But I do believe, though, that him saying that and then being followed up with the questions afterwards in the press conference by a media member saying, okay, do you really believe that? Is that an expectation that you had? And he says, yeah, that's what I believe. That's our expectation. That's our standard. And I believe that Mike Anderson left behind a solid group of individuals that have a lot of potential to really do something this year. And I think that right there, too, is great for Razorback fans because, they had to feel like they had to wait with the Chad Morris situation and wait till he gets his players in. Wait till 3 or 4 years till it really gets going, which is nothing bad and something against them. But in basketball, you see teams that are able to turn it around quickly, that it's almost a shorter leash when it comes to Eric Musselman and the success that Razorback fans expect out of him. So when they hear him say, yeah, we expect to go to the tournament this year, we have enough talent to do so, I think right there that's people like, we love that confidence. We love that expectation he's setting for himself because the last thing we want to do is have his coach say, hey, just wait 2 or 3 years till I get my guys in, and then we'll really get going. They want to win now.
Oh, I mean, let's face it, in football, a coaching staff is going to have to recruit 50 to 75 players to really turn a bad situation around. And Chad Morris inherited a bad situation.
No doubt.
And a complete philosophy, culture change in the way you run your style of offense and everything. Everything's going to have to change. And they even changed the locker room. So, I mean, so it's going to take 2 to 3 recruiting classes. That's 50 to 75 players. That's the difference in the sports. In basketball, we're talking 2 to 5 players can make a world of difference in the culture and everything about your team. And players can more easily adapt to a style in basketball. I mean, the current players on your roster. And I thought the way he answered that yesterday when pressed a little bit in the press conference on his comments, he said, listen, and he went through it and talking about Isaiah Joe and talking about the young players, the jump they'll make from being freshmen and young players to next year. And the individual, remember he talked about individual development plans, and he was going to get on the court with him as soon as possible, hopefully by the end of this week, and kind of run them through some drills. Those are that's where he's expecting that jump is young guys with experience, true playing experience, making a big leap from freshman to sophomore year. Young guys that have playing time under their belt that just need some fine tuning, and then putting an offense and running his style around them to mold and tailor their talents to that. So
and I think that's very important for a coach to have when he enters into a program for the first time. So I mean, there's a lot of things that stood out to us dealing with Eric Musselman, and even when Hunter Yurachek took the podium as well to answer some questions from the media. We're going to have a lot of those audio clips for you. We're going to talk about all those comments. We're also getting to your phone calls. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. After the press conference, what stood out to you the most about Eric Musselman? What do you like about him? What do you not like about him? Give us your thoughts and opinions through that. We're going to take a commercial break, but it is a Toyota Tuesday, so be sure to check out all new 2019 Toyota vehicles at your local Arkansas Toyota dealer, including the Highlander with plenty of room up to 8 people, the stylish new Corolla, the work-ready family tough Tundra, and the go-anywhere 4Runner. Toyota, let's go places.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
When you drive a Toyota Tundra or Tacoma, weekdays and weekends are two entirely different beasts. While an awe-inspiring view on a weekday might sound something like this.
Hon, there's a raccoon going through our trash again.
An awe-inspiring view on the weekend sounds a little more like this.
Whoa, Dad, this is crazy!
And while a bold adventure on the weekdays might be something like,
all right, kids, time to drive 3 hours to your swim meet.
Bold adventures on the weekend are closer to something like... Weekday?
Oh, cool. A standing desk.
Weekend.
Oh, cool. A ski boat.
You get the idea. Make your weekends more exciting than the days before them in the virtually indestructible Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places. Qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a new, rugged and dependable 2019 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Hurry in today. Visit gstoffers.com for details. Offers available in select states and in 4/30/19.
This is the Morning Rush.
Spring has arrived, and it's time to get your golf game in shape. The Golf Nut is your one-stop shop for everything golf. Looking for a new driver or fairway wood? Try out the new Callaway Epic Flash, tailor-made M5 or M6, the new Ping G410, or the Cobra F9. Need shoes? The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes from FootJoy, Adidas, New Balance, Skechers, and Echo, and the new FootJoy shirts are now back in stock. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
The new Harry Robinson Salisal Ford has a bigger selection with over 200 vehicles in stock, personal service from a staff that is ready to work with you, and an all-new service department that's friendly and will fix your car right the first time. This is our promise to you at the new Harry Robinson Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off I-40 in Salisal, Oklahoma.
Harry Robinson Salisal Ford.
Jody'sAuto.com has 3 locations and 3 oil change specials, one for every budget. Just a good basic oil change with synthetic blend oil, oil filter, top off the fluids and air the tires, $19.95. 5-quart system, some restrictions. Better, the preferred oil change, which adds 4 tire rotation and 12 months roadside assistance to the basic. Only $34.95, and the 5th oil change is free. Best, the Supreme, which adds 4-wheel computer spin balance and vacuum the front floorboard to the preferred. Only $49.95, and the 5th oil change is free. But Jody'sAuto.com is one stop, total convenience. Tires, repairs, service, maintenance, towing, and fleets. And voted best of the best for taking care of their customers. 2 locations in Fort Smith and 1 in Van Buren. Since 1984, convenience and trust. Jody'sAuto.com.
At Shelter Insurance, we know landlords have to keep up with their renters, even if they're related.
Mom, Dad, what a surprise!
We just dropped by to pick up your
rent check.
Oh, I'm running a little short this month.
Not everything works as smoothly as Shelter's renter's policy. It helps cover stuff in case of fire, theft, and more.
Maybe I should just move back home. Don't you love me?
Oh, of course.
But now your room's Dad's man cave.
Oh, man.
Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Ask Shelter agents Marsha Cox or Phil Hicks about a free insurance review.
Looking for a new home course this golf season? Eagle Crest Golf Course has memberships as low as $83 a month for Zoysia fairways and bent grass greens. Is your whole golf group ready to join Eagle Crest? 4 new members can join for just $1,150 each for the entire year. Individual annual memberships are just $1,250 a year. Call Eagle Crest Golf Course right now for all the details. 632-8857. That's 632-8857. Eagle Crest Golf Course, Highway 64, just east of Alma.
Hot dog! Spring is finally here and not a moment too soon. Hi folks, Larry Rath here with a better way to drive at Rath Auto Resources. No spring training here. Our all-star team is ready to help you hit a home run with savings up to $3,200 below retail. And the bases are loaded with the freshest inventory in the fort. Cars, trucks, SUVs, all the most popular makes and models right here in one spot. To make this team, these vehicles have to be Rath Road ready. That means they're hand-picked, then inspected and reconditioned in our own Meineke Car Care Center, so you know you're getting the very best pre-owned vehicle you can buy. If you're keeping the car you have, turn the double play in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and up to $200 savings on a set of Cooper tires. Don't commit an error on your next used car purchase. Knock it out of the park with up to $3,200 below retail at Arkansas's #1 rated and reviewed independent dealer and proud sponsor of the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
ESPN 95.3. You're listening to the nonsensical life of John Neighbors and Tommy Kraft. This is the Morning Rush.
Let it play for a little bit. And it's the best. I don't care if anyone says it's corny. I like this song. Doesn't it just mean just national championship and college basketball and just get you going, Tommy? Doesn't it just make you feel good?
Well, it means the end of college basketball.
I know, but it just is a good feeling, though, isn't it? Just like, I don't know. It's just a happy song. I don't know.
Well, it's one of... You've got the CBS college basketball theme.
Which is fantastic.
We all know.
Yeah.
And when you hear the first... I'm not a musical guy. First 2 bars or whatever. chords, bars, whatever the right
whatever
music,
it is.
You musical people out there, you can tell me what. When you hear that, you know exactly what it is. And when you hear the very beginning, that was the Luther.
That's right, Luther
version,
Vandross.
right?
Yep.
It's the only one that should ever be played.
That's right. It's the only real one that's out there.
You know exactly what it means. College basketball. It means national championship. It means one shining moment. It means all the highlights from the last 3 weeks, and it means if your team was in it, you're hoping that particularly if your team did well. You see your team a time or two, but if you're in the tournament, you're hoping to see that glimpse of your team in there represented in one shining moment. It used to be really good, and it was the reason you back in the day you'd stay up and watch all of Greg Gumbel get through the post game. And now it's all changed up to get to that. Now CBS and this new arrangement with TNT and all that, they've just kind of. And I didn't stay up for it last night. They've quit making it appointment TV, I think.
Yeah.
The last few years.
Yeah.
I don't know how it went last night. I didn't see it last night.
Well, it doesn't have the same luster, but the song will always remain the same.
The song will always have special meaning to college basketball fans, correct?
That's right. And that's going to kick off our quick-hitting headlines that are presented by Williams Tractor.
Hey, it's time to kick off mowing season. Sad but true. It's time to start mowing the yard. Big Dog Mowers are there. They got you covered, so if that mower just barely made it to the end of mowing season last year, Williams Tractor in Fayetteville and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers, they've got you covered. Big Dog Mowers have an industry-leading 7-year limited warranty, and they got a great price, too, starting at $23.99 or 0% interest for 48 months and 0 down with approved credit. And if you want that perfect lawn without breaking the bank, this is the way to go. Now, if you're in the military, been in the military, you're a first responder, if you're fit in those categories, take advantage of the Big Dog Hero program and get 10% off of your next mower. Get all the details at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, also Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers today. It's all at Williams Tractor and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas for your Big Dog mower.
And to talk about the national championship game that played last night, I was told that the game was going to be awful and how it was going to be a low-scoring defensive battle between Virginia and Texas Tech and that the over was set at about 119 points. Well, it ended up being a fantastic game that went to overtime where Virginia won it 85-77 over Texas Tech. High-scoring affair. It wasn't at the very beginning, but then it really got going there in the second half.
Started out terrible.
Oh, it was brutal.
Went to the first media. It was 3-2. At the 15 whatever mark.
Yeah, and I think after the under 12 timeout, it was like 9-3 or something like that. It was not good.
It was amazing. It was amazing that they ended up getting to the totals they got. I'll tell you one thing: when you're watching the game in Vegas and you're out, and we weren't in a casino watching, we were just in a restaurant watching the game last night. You can tell three categories of people. A, who doesn't have anything bet on it, which was me, and don't care who wins. B, who has money on it, and you can tell which side who bet on Texas Tech and who bet on Virginia based on every call, based on every bucket, and their reaction. It is just different when you watch a game when people have money on it and how they react to every moment of the game. It was very entertaining and a very interesting societal watch last night for me.
Yeah, was anybody actually wearing like Virginia or Texas Tech gear?
I didn't see a soul doing that.
I didn't.
But
think so.
everybody, not everybody, but a lot of people just sitting there at this watering hole had a vested interest. We'll say.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot of them had a vested interest in the game last night, which I think the line was 3.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, congrats.
I'm glad I didn't because I would have bet Texas Tech and I would have lost. So
yeah.
I'm glad I didn't. I didn't make time. I was busy yesterday, actually, believe it or not, doing some work. And I just didn't get somewhere where you can do that type of thing. They got plenty of places out here where you can, put down your own hard-earned dollars and see if you can double them up. And I did not quite. I didn't get it. And I'm glad I didn't because I'd have lost.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to Virginia, being the first team to lose to a 16 seed last season to bounce back and win a national championship this year. It seemed like it was all worth it. So congratulations to them. Go ahead.
Isn't that a good story, though?
Oh, it's a great story. It's a great bounce back.
I don't like Virginia at all. I think they're a wine and cheese crowd, and I just don't like Virginia at all.
Yeah.
But that is a good story. Go from the first one seed ousted by 16 to the national championship in back-to-back years. That quite a story of redemption in sports.
Yep. And I'm kind of glad that Virginia did win in the only way of I don't know if the city of Lubbock, Texas could have handled a win, because you saw what happened where they destroyed the city. They burned it
down. They burned it to the ground.
They destroyed pretty much. They were flipping cars and burning things just to make the national championship game.
Yeah.
If they would have won it, I have no idea what would have happened. But I don't know if you saw that, Tommy, but Texas Tech canceled classes today. No matter what, no matter if they won or lost, they already canceled classes entirely for the entire day at Texas Tech. So academics, of course, priority number one there for the Red Raider program in Texas Tech. But either way, yeah, I'm just glad for the city of Lubbock's sake that they did not have to deal with that. But I'm glad it just ended up being a good game, because that's the one thing I was fearful of. Never goes that way. Always seems like when it's supposed to be a horrible game, it ends up being great. When it's supposed to be a great game, it ends up being horrible. But either way, at least we were entertained last night. That's all I could ask for when it comes to the national championship. But college basketball officially comes to an end, and now we all move on. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. We got some people waiting on the phone lines. We'll get to you on the other side of the break. Talking about Eric Musselman and his introduction press conference. We'll have some audio from that for you as well, and we'll discuss all the comments that he made with it. Stay with us, folks. This is The Morning Rush.
Mosquito Joe. Outside is fun again. Stephanie, people ask us all the time, what does that mean? Why don't you explain that to them?
For my husband, it was always fun because, he doesn't get bit. But for me and the kids, Mosquito Joe has been a game changer. We can now go outside without coating ourselves with bug spray or smacking ourselves in the face. Put down the bug spray, pick up the phone. 479-202-9960. That's 479-202-9960. Or go to our website, arkansas.mosquitojoe.com. If you mention you heard it on ESPN, you'll get your first treatment for $39.
Kick off the season the right way with a new RV from Crabtree RV in Alma. Crabtree is extending our RV show pricing all season long. Check out our spring show specials like a Salem 207 with a slide and bunks for $147 a month. And with RV show pricing, you can take up to $10,000 off of MSRP on new travel trailers and up to $15,000 off new fifth wheels. And we'll still give you more for your trade than the other guys. At Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
If you take great pride in your lawn, it's time to come by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville and check out our full line of Hustler zero-turn lawnmowers. Zero-turn mowers from Hustler will give you the perfectly manicured cut you want. With power, strength, and speed, you can quickly maneuver around any obstacle with ease. And with payments starting as low as $54 a month, you can have that perfect lawn without breaking the bank. So come by Williams Tractor in Fayetteville today or see us online at williamstractor.com to check out our full line of Hustler mowers. Williams Tractor is here to get you ready for spring.
Are you in the market for a new pool or spa? Seaside Pools and Spas has been constructing quality pools in the four-state area since 1967. It's your one-stop shop for chemicals, equipment, spas, and in-ground pools. With a service department like no other, Seaside Pools and Spas can help you with any repair, maintenance, or renovation needs necessary. Visit Seaside Pools and Spas today in Springdale and Bentonville or online at seasidepools.com.
The morning show that knows the Hogs. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Spring into color at the Paint Store in Van Buren. Your favorite choice for inspiration in choosing those vibrant colors from Richards Paints to finish your warm weather renovations. The Paint Store in Van Buren is contractor friendly and special orders don't upset them. Sue and Vicky, with over 30 years of experience, welcome all your painting questions and will help you feel confident in your choices of Richards Paints. The Paint Store is at 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren. Come and see them or check them out on Facebook today.
At Hardee's, we love to surprise people. Not like getting summoned to jury duty or mistaking your backpack for a parachute. Our surprises are good, like adding our delicious loaded omelet biscuit to our 2 for $4 mix and match deal. Choose between our loaded omelet biscuit, our tasty Frisco breakfast sandwich, our bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or our savory sausage and egg biscuit. Get any 2 for $4. It's the best kind of surprise. I mean, it's no pulling into a paid parking meter, but it's a close second.
Hardee's because it tastes better.
Offer available for a limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
ESPN 95.3. All over the great state of Arkansas. This is The Morning Rush.
Welcome back into The Morning Rush. We are brought to you by Pinnacle Telecom.
You know, it's a great company. We like working with great companies, but This is a company that we depend on every day. We couldn't be streaming our audio on hitthatline.com. We could be streaming the video of the show. Could be taking your phone calls. All of that, we depend on Pinnacle Telecom. We depend on these guys. And the thing we love about Pinnacle Telecom is if there's ever an issue with our internet or our phones, we call them and they are there 24 hours a day. 242-0000. If you don't have that kind of relationship with your phone company, your internet company, why not? Do you have the cell phone number of your sales representative, of the person you deal with? You probably don't even know who that person is. Probably don't have a name, much less a phone number, a direct phone number. You get lost in a phone tree. You have to deal with, press 1 and press 8 and you get whoever you get, or you go out to the big national store and you take a number and you wait a half an hour. Nonsense. Pinnacle Telecom. They can bring fiber to the door, voice over IP, the latest features in all your phone systems. They take care of business telephone systems. These guys are set up to deal with handling businesses, business internet, business telephone systems, and they do it well. And customer service is number one. 479-242-0000 for Pinnacle Telecom, the area's newest and fastest internet and business telephone systems.
Let's go to the phone lines. Danny is in Russellville. What's going on, Danny?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
The coach yesterday said, you mentioned it earlier, that he thought the Hogs had more talent coming back. Is that what he said, back?
He said that he feels that this team on Arkansas's roster currently has more talent than that team he had at Nevada that made the Sweet 16. That's what he said.
Well, let's hope he knows what he's talking about. Maybe we just need some coaching. That game last night, there was two excellent coach teams. I mean, you could just see it. They were both really well coached. And Nick said yesterday that he's not going to be here very long. He's just looking for another job. And I hope he's wrong. I hope this is a guy that sees a monster here he can create. Did you hear the comment he made about the facilities?
Yeah, first off, Danny, I don't remember Nick saying that about him not being here very long. I think that he brought it.
He made comment. He did say that.
Oh, he did say that. Okay, well, I'm sorry.
He said he's not going to be here very long.
Here's the thing, Danny. If he leaves before April 30th of 2021, it's going to cost Coach Musselman $5 million. There's not a lot. I mean, there are some schools that would be willing to pay that and buy him out of a $5 million, but that list is very short.
Well, you know what?
Most coaches,
I hope he does
that's
so
a deterrent.
well that we have that problem. But
yeah, I mean,
I think
it's going to take a lot of success for a that's a big price tag. Yeah,
wouldn't you think so? I mean, he made the comment about the facilities. He said, "I've never seen facilities like this before anywhere he's ever been."
Yeah.
Arkansas, I get so tired of people saying you can't win at Arkansas. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Why not? It's nice up there. Fayetteville's a great town. You got facilities as good as anybody. I don't know if anybody's got any better facilities than us. Maybe Texas A&M. I hadn't been there, but we got great facilities. We got everything you need to win. And maybe he's not scared of Calipari and those guys. Maybe he says, I can coach with them. I don't care. Give me a chance. And I hope that's the kind of guy he is. I hope he's not just, like Nick said, using us for a stepping stone or whatever. But he does. We'll move on to somebody else. I like the fact that he said it's so nice up here.
Yeah.
And it is. And I think we can win at Arkansas. We shouldn't be scared of Penny Hardaway. Nick said we can't get no Penny players that he's after. Nick says we never can get to the glory days again. Why not? Why can't we?
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, you have a good day.
All right, appreciate
Thanks for taking my call.
Of course, appreciate your phone call as always, Danny. Well, I can trash on Nick. Nick doesn't know what he's talking about because he didn't show up today. So, but no, we'll respond to some of your comments, Danny, because I think there's a lot to unbreak, and we'll also get into some of the audio from the press conferences yesterday with Eric Musselman and Hunter Yurachek. More of the Morning Rush coming up next. Stay with us.
You know, a night out with friends can be so much more. Upgrade your evening at 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge on the Avenue. Rediscover life's simple pleasures. Dial back, slow down, and immerse yourself in what true relaxation can be. Top shelf wines and liquors, premium beers, world-class cigars, all in an atmosphere that feels less like a lounge and more like a destination. Sample, indulge, escape. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Upgrade your night on the Avenue.
If you needed major surgery, you probably wouldn't choose a doctor who's never been to medical school. So when your car needs major repairs after a collision, why would you take your car to a body shop that's never been trained? Evans Body Shop is among only 10% of collision repair businesses to meet the industry's highest training standards as a gold class shop. We know the latest repair techniques, how to find hidden damage, and how to repair your car's critical safety features so they work properly again. With the safety of your vehicle and your family at stake, choose trained repair professionals. Choose Evans Body Shop,
where we meet the nicest people by accident.
Ford Auto Park in Fort Smith combines over 90 years of family-owned experience with the best sales and service teams around. And at Orr Auto Park, every new vehicle comes with a lifetime engine warranty, free maintenance for 2 years, and free car washes for the life of the vehicle. The largest selection, the biggest discounts, and the best buying experience around. These are some of the reasons why you always score more with Orr Auto Park in Fort Smith. Stop in today, or they are always open online 24/7 at orrautopark.com.
At Michelob Ultra, we know it's not just about how much you work out every day. It's about how much you work into every day, too. So we brew our beer for those who realize that expending calories should never come at the expense of spending time with friends. Those who understand that just because you work out doesn't mean you can't go out. And that's why we brew Michelob Ultra to have 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a crisp, clean taste. Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who live fit, live fun, live Ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2018 Michelob Ultra Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams of protein, and 0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
ESPN 95.3. You can't drink all day unless you start early. This is the Morning Rush.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out all new 2019 Toyota vehicles at your local Arkansas Toyota dealer, including the Highlander with plenty of room up to 8 people, the stylish new Corolla, the work-ready family tough Tundra, and the Go Anywhere 4Runner. Toyota, let's go places. We've been discussing Eric Musselman being introduced as the next Razorback basketball coach officially yesterday, had a press conference, had a lot of interesting nuggets to come from it, and some clips that we have, and something that Danny in Russellville brought up in the previous call, and we'll just talk about that as far as the talent that is here at Arkansas right now. Eric Musselman was asked about the fact when he told the players that he feels like there's enough talent to make the NCAA tournament. Here's what he had to say.
Coach Anderson's done a great job accumulating talent, so many great young pieces. And, a lot of the guys just finished up their freshman year, and usually players make great leaps after their freshman year going into their sophomore season. And
so that's really the question right there, is it's going to be, okay, you understand a coach trying to come in, get some confidence to the players, trying to build up that trust and all of that. But it makes you really wonder, though, because he's a basketball guy, Eric Musselman. He's watched a lot of film. He's coached a lot of players at different leagues at different times and all of that. Do you think that he is seeing something on this team after watching all the film that he has, that he's like, hey, a few adjustments here, get a couple of players to play down low, and I can make this in a tournament team? I mean, do you think he truly believes that? Do you think that's a realistic thing, that he just a few things here and there can make this team into an NCAA tournament team this upcoming season?
And he also knows he's not going to get fired for not making the tournament. Whether or not he makes the tournament, I think fans want to see improvement in the program. I do believe what he said there at the end, that the players are going to make a big jump and a big leap. I'm interested in seeing players develop, and I think it's going to be an interesting deal next year. Now, he's got to find some 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
He's got to find some big guys to go along with this to make the whole thing work next year. So is this a program that can make the tournament? Yes, because, and he talked about this yesterday, and it's something we already know, this is not a league where, like he came from in the Mountain West, where maybe 2, tops 3 programs get in the tournament. What was it, 7 that got in this year? I didn't, I forgot now.
Right.
So like 7 SEC schools are going to get in. Can you be in the top half of the league? Now, I don't know that 7 are going to get in next year, but 5 or 6 is a pretty safe number. This was kind of a better than usual year compared to the last 10 for the SEC when it comes to teams getting in the postseason. It's one of the better years you've had in recent times. Can that trend continue? I think the coaching's getting better. I mean, Buzz Williams added the league. I mean, the SEC's clearly made the commitment.
Mm-hmm.
So what you're talking about is you just got to be in the top half of this league in order to get in. I think this is the guy that can do that.
Yeah, and I was just because when you made that comment, it's of course you got to take it for like we said. He's a coach coming in, gaining the trust, and you mentioned it, Tommy, that he's not going to get fired this year, so he has a little more leeway with what he says and what he's dealing with. So and that's all understood. But if you really look at it and just look at the conference in general, because like you said, he's going to have to finish in the top half essentially of this conference. Arkansas went 8-10 this past season with Daniel Gafford. They got to find some sort of replacement for Daniel Gafford, and that's what he's going to be tasked with right off the bat, is trying to find some guys down low. But, I mean, can he – if you just look at some of the things that are going on in the SEC, like LSU won the regular season this year, we don't know what they're going to look like next year. We don't know who the coach is going to be next year. So, I mean, they could take a major step back. Tennessee's losing a lot of players. Now, I'm not saying they'll be a bad team, but they're losing a lot.
Nearly lost their coach.
Yeah, nearly lost their coach, which we'll get into later in the show. But, they're going to be losing a lot. We know Kentucky's going to be Kentucky. And Auburn, who made it to the Final Four this year, they're losing a few key pieces. Mississippi State wasn't that great of a team. Ole Miss was not that great of a team. I mean, they got to the tournament, but they weren't great teams. Same with Florida right there. I mean, I don't think it's going to take a whole lot for Arkansas to finish just right at 500, maybe a little bit above 500 in SEC play, as long as they get some help down low. But, I think that just given how this current state of the conference, I don't know if the conference is going to be better next year than it was this past year. I could be wrong, because you mentioned some of the guys like, Buzz Williams going to A&M. What are they going to do? What about when Tom Crean gets his 5-star guy in? Is that going to make a big difference for next year for Georgia? I mean, there's a few pieces here or there, but I'm just saying that I could see Arkansas, though, finishing in the top 7 of the SEC. I really could. And it's not because Arkansas is going to be just that much better. I just think that the SEC in general is going to take a slight step back next season is all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, is that because it's not – is that just because it was so good this year? Or because you just think some of the really great players are leaving the league and they're not being replaced with players as good?
Well, I think it's that. I think it's the latter more so than anything, and it's just because there are other situations. Like I said, the LSU situation, it just doesn't. It doesn't look like they're going to be a team that's going to go back and go 16-2 in conference next year.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, because something like that. And Mississippi State,
Tennessee can't be as good next year as they were this year.
Right, and Kentucky. I mean, like I said, Kentucky's going to be Kentucky, so you don't have to worry about them. But is Ole Miss going to take that next step under the second year of Kermit Davis? Is Ben Howland at Mississippi State? Are they just going to be another borderline tournament team? They made it to the tournament this year, but it was dicey. Are they going to be that team? What's Mike White, Florida, going to do? Because if they didn't beat Arkansas in the SEC tournament, they wouldn't have made the tournament. So, I mean, there's just a lot of unknowns about it where I've leaned more towards the conference being not as good than being better next year, I guess is what I'm saying. So, not to say it'll be bad. It's just I think this year was really the strongest it has been. And if I'm wrong next year, I'm wrong. But, because who knows what South Carolina's going to do, for instance. They went 11-7 in conference this year, but 16-16 overall. So they didn't make the tournament. So
I'd say Frank Martin's going to be more focused on November and December is what I'd say.
No kidding. My goodness. That was one of the weirdest stories of the SEC slate. So, yeah, there could be a lot of pieces that are moving around in there. Let's go to the phone lines. Don is in Greenwood. What's going on, Don?
Hey, guys. I've got a simple thought here. Basketball is very athletic. I mean, don't misunderstand. I couldn't make it 3 times up the court. But it's also it's easier than football. I mean, there's 8 to 10 people on the field, on the court. It only takes 2 to 3 studs, and you got a team.
That's right.
I mean, he will rebound quicker. It is a great thing. I don't have an opinion on the coach or whatever, but in all honesty, it will not take as long as football. It won't. It just takes 2 to 3. Nolan proved that. Just 2 to 3. That's all it takes on basketball. So the light is very, very bright at the end of the tunnel. He's got, 9 days to recruit? Who knows who he can replace in 8 or 9 days? Who knows?
Yeah.
You never know. It only takes 2 or 3 studs. It don't take 24. That's my only thought about it.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well, appreciate the phone call, Don. I mean, no, we agree with that. I mean, it's much easier if you want an example. I mean, I don't think this should be the expectation, but look at what Chris Beard did at Texas Tech. I mean, my goodness, he was in year 3 and he played in the national championship game last night at Texas Tech. So I mean, it
went
can
to overtime.
Went to overtime with Virginia, and actually a high-scoring game for goodness sakes. But I mean, he has hit the recruiting trail hard. In fact, he went ahead and offered the Kyrie Walker, a guy that we talked about yesterday, which was a 5-star player out of Arizona that had Nevada, Memphis, and Arizona in his final 3. Eric Musselman already went in and offered him a scholarship. We'll see, if he gets a visit or anything like that. But if he, and I was saying this too, Tommy, and I was thinking about it after the press conference yesterday. Could you imagine if he was able to get like Moses Moody? or if he was able to get some big-time five-star player in his first recruiting class, just what that would do to energize everything else even more. Because that was like the one thing against Mike Anderson is just you never felt like Mike Anderson was going to go into Arizona and get a 5-star player. Like you just like that was not going to happen. But if you have a coach that can come in and get a 5-star player from a state that's all pretty much across the country over there, I mean, that's just immediately going to add some credibility as well too. So, I mean, just things like that, the little small things like that could just really change everybody's opinion on it and really get people going and motivated and be excited about Musselman if he's able to get the recruits in immediately right off the bat, because he's going to need some help this year.
Yeah, and right now he doesn't have a staff put together.
Right.
And he's got, as Don alluded to, this signing period, this late signing period ends in, 8 days? And he talked about that yesterday, and maybe one of the clips we're going to get to here a little bit later on in the show. But, yeah, it's similar to what Chad Morris was coming into his first year, where he arrived in early December, and that was that first year of the early signing period where really it was the only signing period in reality. I know there was still February, but it was the only signing period. It's not quite the same thing he's dealing with here, but it kind of has some similarities in the fact that he's got 8 days, and you got to use some of the existing staff to sort through relationships they've been working, figure out if any of those players fit, and then, like you said, offer. There's no bad day to offer a 5-star kid that might be willing to look at your program. So maybe that works out, maybe it doesn't. You don't have a thing to lose by making the kid from Arizona an offer.
No, not at all.
Not a thing to lose.
Yeah, and again, if you got one of those players in right off the bat, that can really cause some momentum because basketball you need about 2 or 3 players each class roughly. Wouldn't you say just about 2 or 3? And depending on transfers, I mean sometimes it'll be more so than that. I think this past year
Arkansas had that class with 6, and
right.
That's what you don't want. You want it more balanced, where it's 2 to 3.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but the main reason they had that is because they had 6 seniors also leaving.
Right.
So
you don't want to be in that situation.
Right.
Is my point.
Right. And so if they're just able to get a couple guys, because again, we'll have some more clips about how he was able to determine how much talent this team had when he watched some film on. I thought it was an interesting point there that we'll play on the other side, but. If he feels like there's enough talent and enough things that he can work on, I mean, he's got some, like Isaiah Joe is a player. Like, that guy's a player. Mason Jones is a player. I mean, these are guys that have a lot of upside and a lot of potential, and they're young guys who, in their first year at Arkansas, did a lot of things really well. And you have some other guys that have some upside, like a Desi Sills. You feel like he's got some potential there. Even a guy like Jalen Harris, who you feel like, I mean, he was terrible at shooting the ball, but if you could just work with his game just so slightly, you feel like he can just take that next step. So it's just these slight adjustments, too, that somebody like Eric Musselman, who knows the game of basketball really well, and I believe he called his style pace and space yesterday. So I don't know, maybe that'll be the new hashtag. But, if he just is able to instill that culture, get everybody to buy in, keep all the players in, and now I didn't even mention a guy like Reggie Chaney, who I know a lot of people are excited about the potential there. I feel like he does truly have some pieces to work with. It's just a matter of getting those pieces to work well together and making something happen into this next season. That's going to be the toughest task for sure. But we're going to continue to talk about this. We're going to get into some more audio, well as some Hunter Yurachek audio about the process of this hiring, which I thought was really fascinating as well. We'll get to all of that. Of course, more of your phone calls. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. The Morning Rush brought to you by Brent Higgins Trucking.
Yeah, if you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and you want to be a part of a trucking family that has insurance for you and be home every week, you need to call Brent Higgins Trucking. If you don't have any of those things, if you're on the road weeks at a time, no health insurance, kind of out there on your own, Brent Higgins has a lot more to offer you than your current situation. Been in business since 1997. They're located in Mulberry. They have routes right now that they deliver a lot to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, but also various runs throughout the United States as well. So Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, you're not a number, you got benefits, and you get home more frequently. Call them at 479-997-2366. That's 997-2366. And get a new start at Brent Higgins Trucking. Go online at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
We are celebrating 50 years at Razorback Camper Sales, and it's spring camping season. All remaining 2018 travel trailers, fifth wheels, and pop-ups are at rock-bottom prices. Or check out the 2019 Salem Bunkhouse 17-foot travel trailer with outside kitchen, power awnings. It sleeps 6, only $13,990 or $143 a month. Thank you for 50 great years at Razorback Camper Sales. Exit 1 off of the bypass in Hot Springs, or online at RazorbackCamperSales.com.
And now, an ad from Dad.
Oh, yeah, just this one line, right? All right, here we go. Save money on car insurance when you... Huh? Oh, it's not? I thought that was the mic. This is the mic here. Okay. Save money on car insurance when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Is that too close? Sorry. Well, I don't know where to stand. Nobody's told me where to stand.
Progressive can't save you from becoming your parents, but we can save you money when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
When you drive a Toyota Tundra or Tacoma, weekdays and weekends are two entirely different beasts. While an awe-inspiring view on a weekday might sound something like this.
Hon, there's a raccoon going through our trash again.
An awe-inspiring view on the weekend sounds a little more like this.
Whoa, Dad, this is crazy!
And while a bold adventure on the weekdays might be something like...
All right, kids, time to drive 3 hours to your swim meet.
Bold adventures on the weekend are closer to something like... Weekday?
Oh, cool. A standing desk.
Weekend.
Oh, cool. A ski boat.
You get the idea. Make your weekends more exciting than the days before them in the virtually indestructible Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places. Qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a new, rugged, and dependable 2019 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Hurry in today. Visit gstoffers.com for details. Offers available in select states and in 4/30/19.
This is the Morning Rush.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game. Guys, are you tired of all the hassles with your CPAP machine? Putting on the mask every night, cleaning or replacing hoses and filters? Tired of taking it on trips and wondering where you're going to plug it in? And don't forget the distilled water. You need a solution. River Valley Sleep Solutions. Replace your CPAP with an innovative custom-fitted mouthguard. Medical insurance is accepted, and financing options are available. Find out more at rivervalleysleep.com. That's rivervalleysleep.com.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Call them at 479-997-2366 or log on to BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
Now is the time to book your fundraising and corporate golf outings for 2019 at Eagle Crest Golf Course. Call Eagle Crest now before all the best dates are gone. 479-632-8857. Eagle Crest Golf Course, voted best of the best golf course 2 years in a row. Let their staff take care of everything, from help with your tournament as well as food and beverage service. If you're looking for a place to host your corporate or charity event this year, call Eagle Crest Golf Course. 479-632-8857.
Frank Roll Furniture, with the best seats in the house for the month of April, is offering no sales tax and free delivery within 30 miles. Plus, yes, that's right, plus 15% off on all cash, check, or card sales, and 10% off on our in-store no-credit check financing. Again, April, 15% off cash, check, or card, and 10% off our in-store no-credit check financing with no sales tax and free delivery within 30 miles. Frank Roll Furniture, the best seats in the house. TVs and appliances excluded.
Save $14,000 during our Spring Sierra sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. All remaining 2018 Sierras must go. Save $14,000 and shop now to pick your color, cab, and options from our huge selection. Or check out the 2019 GMC Acadia, a third-row SUV, for only $399 a month. Just $26,499. Spring into savings at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. mornings suck, let John and Tommy make them suck less. This is the Morning Rush.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush, where we are brought to you by Crabtree RV.
Yeah, RV show prices rolling right now with up to $15,000 off on fifth wheels, up to $10,000 off on travel trailers, zero down on virtually every model. So if you're wanting to get ready for spring camping, right now is the time, and RVs are available at great prices at Crabtree RV in Alma. If you need some service work, de-winterizing, or maybe some body or paint work, they are ready for you to see their service department and get all of that handled right now. It's all at Crabtree RV in Alma. Exit 13 off of I-40. It's right next door to the Cracker Barrel. You can't miss them. Crabtree RV, it's where your family's dreams come true.
Another thing that Eric Musselman had to say yesterday when he was talking about the talent that he feels he has, people are probably wondering, okay, well, how does he know? What does he watch? Well, he was asked about the amount of film that he watched on these guys, and here's what he had to say.
As soon as Hunter called, I started watching film. And I kind of basically locked myself in a room and just started watching as much game tape as I could to see what the talent was. And then also, when Hunter and John came, I felt it was really important that I convey to them, my feelings on the team, and I wanted them to feel how excited I was about the job. And it's kind of easy just to go into an interview and just talk philosophically, but I wanted Hunter to know, like I'm really invested in this. And
Tommy, right there, to me, it says more than anything, because it's one thing to say if you're excited about a job. That's one thing, because every coach is going to say that. But it's another thing to go to that extent to where when you get the phone call of even being interested, you go and lock yourself in a room and you start breaking down film of the current roster. Like, that's next level stuff.
Well, I mean, that's what told me yesterday. I was talking earlier in the show that beyond any rah-rah hashtag new slogan stuff that, wins the press conference, that's what stood out to me yesterday beyond anything else, is how prepared he got himself for the interview. But that told, and Hunter Yurachek talked about this, this is a guy that really wanted the job. Now, let's break it down a little bit. He was in the Mountain West. He's never had a Power 5 job. He has coached in the NBA, so let's not act like this guy hadn't had a high-level head coaching job. He has coached in the NBA. He didn't have over-the-top success, but he's coached at basically every level. Grew up as a coach's son. His dad coached in the NBA. So, I mean, this guy's been around basketball his whole life. But a chance to go from the Mountain West to the SEC, dude, if you don't go watch film, if you don't get yourself prepared, if you don't have a way to as he was talking about, sit down with Hunter Yurachek and John Fag and talk about this current team and not just philosophies. On the surface, you're really not doing yourself a service to get the job. And, I thought that was pretty good. Then he was talking about the week in between, the initial phone call. He was prepared, and then that week in between, he spent even more time watching film and getting ready. And that second phone call came, and I know we'll get more into the details of how it all happened, but he spent even more time watching Arkansas players.
Yeah. So, and that was even from the perspective of Eric Musselman. Hunter Yurachek's perspective of what the reaction was by Eric Musselman was a little different as well.
It was the moment I offered it to him on the phone on Friday, and my ear was shaking. He was yelling so loud. He was so excited. And that's what you want when you offer somebody a job. I mean, he was about ready to jump through the phone if he could have. He was so excited that he had been offered the opportunity to be our head basketball coach. And right then and there, obviously I had made a decision I thought was the right decision, but when you call a coach and you offer him a position and he has that level of excitement and Danielle's in the background and she's yelling and screaming too, it's the right decision.
I mean, that was also, I'm sure, a big reaction, as Hunter Yurachek said. He's like, hey, when you hear that, it's kind of like, it doesn't, again, make you feel like your decision was right because you feel like you made the right decision anyway, but it solidifies your decision saying, okay, this guy is all in about Arkansas right now.
It's confirmation you've done the right thing, that you've got the right guy.
Yeah.
And that he's bought in. He's all in. It's not just about money. It's about the opportunity. And, it's, as Musselman was talking yesterday, he kept saying when he was doing his research, talking to SEC coaches and talking to people in the coaching community, one thing kept coming up, that Arkansas is one of the best jobs in the country. And I've been saying this all along. This is one of the best jobs in the SEC, one of the best programs, has a chance to be. And that's exactly what he kept getting from colleagues in the business. Arkansas can be one of the best jobs in the country, one of the best jobs in the SEC, and it's time for Arkansas basketball to be that again.
Yeah, the expectation is there now. They are second or third best team in the SEC, a top 20 program. That's what Hunter Yurachek said multiple times yesterday. So, therefore, that is the expectation. 877-377-6963. More of the Morning Rush coming up in 2 minutes.
Hot dog! Spring is finally here and not a moment too soon. Hi, folks. Larry Rath here with a better way to drive at Rath Auto Resources. No spring training here. Our all-star team is ready to help you hit a home run with savings up to $3,200 below retail. And the bases are loaded with the freshest inventory in the fort. Cars, trucks, SUVs, all the most popular makes and models right here in one spot. To make this team, these vehicles have to be Rath Road ready. That means they're hand-picked, then inspected and reconditioned in our own Meineke Car Care Center, so you know you're getting the very best pre-owned vehicle you can buy. If you're keeping the car you have, turn the double play in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and up to $200 savings on a set of Cooper tires. Don't commit an error on your next used car purchase. Knock it out of the park with up to $3,200 below retail at Arkansas's #1 rated and reviewed independent dealer and proud sponsor of the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Fresh means fresh, as in no preservatives. That's right. If it's fresh, it doesn't need to be preserved. Try Jim's 100% premium Wisconsin cheese. Fresh whole milk mozzarella, wood smoked provolone, old world style Romano and Parmesan. The freshest all-you-can-eat salad bar in town. No preservatives and fresh every time. Fresh, fast. Jim's Razorback Pizza. At the corner of Greenwood and Gary in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Whole lot of sunshine with us today. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the lower 80s. We will be clear and quiet tonight, mid-50s. Tomorrow, sunny, warm and windy. Our high in the low 80s with winds anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour. Thursday, back to partly cloudy skies, highs near 80. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Mosquito Joe. Don't let mosquitoes ruin your outside fun this year. Call Mosquito Joe at 479-202-9960 to keep your yard mosquito-free. Or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
KERX Paris Fort Smith from the Bush and Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly. Broadcasting live from the Toyota Studios, this is the Morning Rush.
When I first got into college recruiting, the biggest thing is, can I recruit? And by the looks of my wife, I'm an absolutely incredible recruiter.
Pretty good. He's pretty good.
First of all, it's a great day to be a Razorback. Man, what a difference a year makes. And guys knowing what we expect on game day.
Razorback Nation, this is Coach Musselman. We're on our way to Fayetteville. Go Hogs.
With John Neighbors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Tommy Kraft.
My friends and I, we drank beer, liked beer, still like beer.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. Appreciate everybody listening in. John Neighbors, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, all in studio with you today. And thank you, as always, for making us a part of your morning this morning on a Toyota Tuesday. So be sure to check out all new 2019 Toyota vehicles at your local Arkansas Toyota dealer, including the Highlander with plenty of room up to 8 people, the stylish new Corolla, the work-ready family Tough Tundra, and the Go Anywhere 4Runner. Toyota, let's go places. Been talking a lot about Eric Musselman being officially introduced yesterday in a press conference that I know had a lot of Razorback fans excited about some of the things that he had to say, and we've discussed a few of those things. But what was also really interesting is that we had a chance in the media to catch up with Hunter Yurachek. And I don't think if anybody really remembers or really cares, Tommy, but after Mike Anderson was fired, Hunter Yurachek did not have a press conference. He did not have a thing where he had to answer questions about the decision or anything like that, which was, I wouldn't say it's unusual, but it was definitely something that I know frustrated some of the media members and how they just wanted to get some answers around it, and which I can understand because when something big like that happens, you kind of want to say, all right, so what happened here? So you didn't have a press conference like that. So this was the first time anyone in the media had actually had a chance to talk to Hunter Yurachek about the process of firing Mike Anderson and also the process of hiring Mike Anderson. And honestly, Tommy, I didn't have an issue with him not having a press conference personally.
No, in fact, Tom Murphy brought that up yesterday on the show when I asked him about how do you think Hunter Yurachek has done through the process, and that was one of the things he brought up was not having the press conference, and Hunter addressed that yesterday, and I'm sure you're going to play that audio here as to, the things he didn't think would come out of that, or the negative the negative overtones about Mike that he didn't want to come out of a press conference by having that. And there's really nothing positive going to come out of a press conference about firing a coach. It's really not.
No. And in fact, when he was talking about having to make that decision, he talked about how it was the hardest thing that he has ever had to do.
I made probably the most difficult decision I've ever made professionally in letting Mike Anderson go. Mike Anderson is a great man. And I didn't think I needed to compound or shed any negative light on Mike Anderson by having a press conference after I let him go. I didn't see the point in that. The only thing that was going to come on that was negative things towards Mike and how he ran his program. And I made a decision that was difficult. And so I hope you guys understand why I didn't have a press conference after that.
I think it's a solid explanation from, and it does make sense because if you think about the situation that happens after there's a lot of emotions and it's a lot of because again, you weren't just firing a coach, you were firing a coach that had been around for so long, had been a part of the program, and that was all about Arkansas. So it was not just your run-of-the-mill firing of a coach. And the fact that he handled it that way, Tommy, and talked about how he felt like it would shed negative light, I agree with him. I feel like if he would have done a press conference after that, the entire press conference would just have been like, all right, so where did Mike fail? Why did he fail? How badly did he fail? It just seemed like it would have been one of those situations, which you can like it, you can love it, you can hate it, whatever, but I think that for Hunter Yurachek, at least, that was a good move by him as athletic director.
Well, I'll tell you what else it had turned into. Who are your top three candidates? What names?
Yes,
give us some
exactly.
names of people you want to talk to. All of those type of questions, which he couldn't answer. I mean, he's not going to give you those names, nor should he. But you have to ask them. I mean, I don't fault anybody in the media for asking that question. You must ask it. But it turns into a bunch of questions that can't be answered. And quite honestly, where do you want your AD spending his time in the immediate hours following the decision to dismiss his basketball coach? I want him on the trail finding his next coach. I want the process to begin in what he described as he identified 12 candidates, quickly narrowed it to about 4, and then started calling and interviewing people.
Yeah.
And I want his hours spent doing that, not preparing for a press conference, because it's not just sitting up there taking questions. You have to prepare for that, or then you end up, if you don't, you end up looking like a fool and making a fool of yourself. And Hunter Yurachek's the kind of guy that's going to prepare. So it just eats up time. And time in that moment is very precious because you are also sitting there knowing that there was, 3 other. You were one of, 4 SEC jobs open, and LSU was kind of out there in the open. Well, I guess maybe at that point Alabama had been filled. But, the pressure was on to get something done.
Mm-hmm.
Was my point. And there was jobs opening up, jobs filling around the country. You didn't have time to waste. Having a press conference to me would seem like wasted time with not a lot of good information revealed at that point.
Yeah, and Tom Murphy was actually asked the question, and a very simple question of when this process went down, why change coaches? Why change coaches now? And here's Hunter Yurachek's response.
We did not have the level of success. We had success, but we didn't have the level of success I believe we could have here at the University of Arkansas. And that was reaffirmed again. I said this earlier. When I talked to other coaches around the country, whether they had an interest in this job or not, or they were calling to talk about another candidate in the pool, it was always that this is a top-tier SEC job. This should be a top 2 or 3, a team that's in the top 2 or 3 in the SEC year in and year out, and one that's in the top 20 year in and year out. And that we hadn't met that consistently over the past 8 years.
Hunter Yurachek just won over a lot of Razorback fans with that comment right there, where he believes that that's where the program is at. That's the expectation because of the coaches that he's talked to, because of the other people just around the country and how they look at this job. It's a top-tier SEC job. It's a top 20 program, and that's what it needs to be. And that's essentially what it came down to with Mike Anderson. And I feel like now you're starting to see connections that the fans' feelings had with Hunter Yurachek and the feelings that he had that, hey, it's not that Mike Anderson did a horrible job. It wasn't that Mike Anderson was just having this dumpster fire of a program that had all these issues. It was not to the level of success that should be had at a place like Arkansas. And that's really what it came down to. And I think that Hunter Yurachek making that comment gives a lot of Razorback fans a good feeling and a lot of hope that in Hunter Yurachek saying he knows where these programs are at and what they're capable of doing. And as long as he still keeps that mentality throughout, whether it's football or baseball or whatever it is, he's going to make sure that he gets the right guy in place that's going to be able to elevate their game and be able to have that expectation in and year out. So I think he won a lot of fans over, Hunter Yurachek did, because a lot of fans weren't sure about him.
Well, and I think the way the contract or the offer that we've seen that's been signed by both parties is structured backs that up. I mean, just where the bonuses are at and the incentives are not. There are a few minor incentives for academic and graduation rates, and if you graduate 90+%, you get $25,000, and if it's 80 to 89, it's 12.5 or 12,500. All that's all crumbs. Jeff Long had some bigger incentives for his coaches for APR and some of those things. And hey, that was at a time where the program really needed to focus on some APR stuff. In fairness, but the big cheese, the big cheddar at the end of the maze is for winning. For Musselman, it's Sweet 16s, Final Fours, national championships. In fact, there's only a little bit, and you got to get there twice, and you can only kind of cash in once on just making it to the tournament. So making it to the tournament's not even really good enough in Hunter Yurachek's eyes. Get there, we're going to give you a reward for getting there in your second time. But really what we want to do is get you to the national championship. $500,000 if you can win the national championship. So even the way he structured this arrangement speaks that winning is the most important thing, and we're going to reward you for doing so.
Yep. And again, it's like a breath of fresh air almost to a lot of Razorback fans, because for a long time they didn't feel like that was the case. They didn't feel like winning was the ultimate priority. And now that you have not only an athletic, because again, athletic directors say that all across the country. I don't think any athletic director's coming out and literally saying, well, winning's really our third priority. We want to make sure that the grades are good. Like, nobody's saying that. But it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to back it up when you, like you mentioned with the contract. I think is a great point, because it was the same contract. The thing that people sign on the dotted line, that's what speaks the volumes. Even if you think back to when Bobby Petrino signed that big old contract, that huge buyout, like, it's one thing for a coach to say, you know what, I'm not looking to go anywhere. This is where I'm at. But when you sign that contract and you see that it's backed up, then that gives the ultimate confirmation that you are saying what you're really meaning. You are a man of your word. And it's the same thing here. When you sign on the dotted line and you have it set up in a certain occasion where you do get benefits and you do get some increases in your pay when you actually have the high level of success, that's showing that, hey, we want it, we believe it, but if you back it up, you're going to get it. And so that's, to me, also another big factor in it, because maybe I'm just thinking of it. Maybe I'm getting caught up in the moment, Tommy, but just the whole process of this and the hiring of it all, I just feel like this, the more and more you research and you hear about it and you hear about the process, I feel like this was just a big win for Arkansas in general about it. Again, I don't know what the high-level success will be, but it just feels like it was a big win for him.
I think it's a big win for Hunter Yurachek.
More so.
I think Hunter Yurachek, while Eric Musselman got a great job and a big elevation in pay and a big step up from the Mountain West to the SEC, and him and his family are great winners in this, and the Arkansas basketball program and the fan base is a big winner. I think Hunter Yurachek comes out a big winner in all of this, because let's be honest, we were all a little uncertain about who is this Hunter Yurachek guy? How do you spell that name? What's he all about? What are his priorities?
Is he from
Does
Russia?
he really want to win? Yeah. Who is he? All of these questions about Hunter Yurachek. And I think he quietened a lot of, not critics. I don't think anyone, was critical. We were just a lot of uncertainty about him. And I think he's come out looking pretty good in all of this.
Yep.
And I think he did his job. He did it well. And he talked about, we'll get more into some of the sound from him yesterday about why the process took as long as it did and how he wanted to go through it with integrity and some of those things, and who was involved and how close-knit the circle was, why he didn't use a search firm, why it's his job to find the coach, all of these things. But I think the fan base now has more confidence in their AD this morning than they did a week ago yesterday or a month ago.
Without a question. I mean, he really won over a lot of Razorback fans. And
I think you're right.
And I want to get into the process on the other side of the break of hiring Musselman, because I think that was another thing that people are fascinated by as far as how did this whole process go down, because there were so many rumors getting thrown around as far as meetings and all that stuff and coaches that were actually involved. So we'll get behind to the process of it and, of course, continue to take your phone calls. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. Before we go, though, we're going to tell you about this Bentonville Whiskey Festival we've been promoting. I know it's Nick Mason's doing, but it sounds like since a lot of our listeners are probably whiskey drinkers, because you have to be to listen to this show, this sounds like a great event for you.
Yeah, it's not in the morning though. So
it
is on the weekend too. That helps. So yeah, April the 27th. You want to make plans to be at the Bentonville Whiskey Festival. It's at the Peel Mansion on Walton Boulevard in Bentonville. It's 400 South Walton Boulevard in Bentonville. They have a lot of events there. Great venue. VIP hour begins at 3. General admission opens at 4. You can get your tickets and more information by calling 479-684-8677, or you can text that number as well. That's 684-8677, or you can go online and get tickets as well at arwhiskeyfestival.eventbrite.com. Now, Nick told us yesterday there's less than 50 tickets, and I think it's maybe like 30 tickets remain for this event, because there is just a limited number of space. They're going to have food trucks, food vendors. You get a swag bag with a VIP ticket. It's just going to be a fun night at the Peel Mansion. So it's April the 27th. You need to get your tickets now before they're all gone. And there's also a link on our website at hitthatline.com that'll take you to where you need to go to get that ticket. That's arwhiskeyfestival.eventbrite.com, or call or text 684-8677 for the Bentonville Whiskey Festival on April the 27th.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Start your summer with a splash and big savings on Doughboy Above Ground Swimming Pools. For a limited time, you can save $500 on your purchase of a full Doughboy pool package, including pool, liner, pump, and filter. Invest in a refreshing and relaxing pool for your family and experience the Doughboy difference of unmatched quality, longevity, and safety. Visit BurtonPools.com and get your $500 coupon and see Burton Pools and Spas, 6121 Zero Street at Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Hey there, it's Travis Toller from Williams Tractor in Fayetteville and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas and Rogers. Big Dog Mowers have you covered no matter the job. With an industry-leading 7-year limited warranty, Big Dog will take care of you. And with prices starting at $23.99 or 0% financing for 48 months and 0 down with approved credit, you can have that perfect lawn you need and want without breaking the bank. And if you serve or have served in the military or as a first responder, take advantage of the Big Dog Hero program and receive 10% off your next mower. Come see us at Williams Tractor in Fayetteville and Bobcat in Northwest Arkansas and Rogers today.
This is the Morning Rush.
Auto Park in Fort Smith combines over 90 years of family-owned experience with the best sales and service teams around. And at Orr Auto Park, every new vehicle comes with a lifetime engine warranty, free maintenance for 2 years, and free car washes for the life of the vehicle. The largest selection, the biggest discounts, and the best buying experience around. These are some of the reasons why you always score more with Orr Auto Park in Fort Smith. Stop in today, or they are always open online 24/7 at OrAutoPark.com.
At Hardee's, we love to surprise people. Not like getting summoned to jury duty or mistaking your backpack for a parachute. Our surprises are good, like adding our delicious loaded omelet biscuit to our 2 for $4 mix and match deal. Choose between our loaded omelet biscuit, our tasty Frisco breakfast sandwich, our bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or our savory sausage and egg biscuit. Get any 2 for $4. It's the best kind of surprise. I mean, it's no pulling into a paid parking meter, but it's a close second.
Hardee's, because it tastes better.
Offer available for a limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
You're telling me there is a place?
3 places, 2 in Fort Smith, 1 in Van Buren.
That can do everything to my pickup?
And my car. Jody'sAuto.com can do everything, from oil changes and maintenance to repairs. All repairs. They'll even tow it in and then fix it if your truck breaks down on the road. One-stop everything.
What about tires?
All the best brands. These people really know tires and have free flat repair and free road hazard. Best prices on tires anywhere and price match guarantee.
Okay, so what's the catch? I bet they don't do financing, right?
Nope, wrong again. Jody'sAuto.com has the best credit card in the car care industry, and you can apply online.
Jody'sAuto.com voted best of the best for customer service, and a big part of that is convenience. One stop for everything. 3 oil change specials, tires, service, repair, maintenance, towing, and fleets. 3 locations since 1984. Convenience and trust. Jody'sAuto.com.
Spring is in the air, and spring turkey hunting season is almost here. And Jelco Outdoors has all the gear you need to bag that big old tom this spring. Calls, vests, chairs, decoys, camo clothing, hunting boots, blinds, turkey shotguns, chokes, and ammo. Everything you need to get ready for spring turkey season is at Jelco Outdoors. Remember, a great hunt begins at Jelco Outdoors. Jelco, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
This is Mark Hurst. How important is new technology? That's a question I was recently asked by a student at a career day presentation at a local school. At Hurst Family Dental Care, we use new technology like digital x-rays, an iTero scanner instead of those messy impressions, and an Invisalign outcome simulator which can show you within minutes how Invisalign can straighten your teeth. Give us a call at 474-1972 and let us show you how new technology makes a difference in the way we are able to care for you. Hurst Family Dental Care, a name you know and a name you can trust.
Tired of all the broken promises and broken equipment at your current gym? The Fort Smith Athletic Club is the nicest and most well-equipped fitness and tennis club in the area, with a state-of-the-art fitness center, Pilates, fitness classes, personal and group training, and the best tennis facilities in the region. 7 outdoor courts, 5 indoor courts, plus pickleball and racquetball courts, and free child care is included. The Fort Smith Athletic Club. Call 452-4031 for membership information.
Looking for a high-quality and affordable pre-owned vehicle? Hertz Car Sales offers a wide selection of high-quality cars, SUVs or trucks, amazing customer service, where you can buy direct and save on every car. With inventory arriving daily, why not make the short drive to 2810 Midland Boulevard? Or give them a call at 783-1722. You can also check them out on the web at buyfromhertz.com. Trade-ins are always welcome. Stop by Hertz Car Sales today. You'll be glad you did.
ESPN 95.3. Don't just listen. Watch The Morning Rush on Hit That Line's Facebook Live, Periscope, and YouTube page. This is The Morning Rush.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. Hey, the weather's starting to get really warm out there. And you know what I love to do when the warm weather hits? That's to go down to Oaklawn. It's always a good time down in Oaklawn, Tommy.
Well, it's going to be a big weekend because the Arkansas Derby is this weekend. The road to the Kentucky Derby makes its final major stop. It's in Arkansas, and it's for the $1 million Arkansas Derby. It's going to be a huge weekend. I mean, it's always a big weekend when the Arkansas Derby is ready to run. You got Rebel Stakes winners trying to become Triple Crown winners this weekend. Omaha Beach, Long Range Toddy. Going to be a fun weekend at Oaklawn. So be sure and make your plans to be at one of the biggest sporting events in Arkansas every year. And that's the Arkansas Derby. Now, if you don't have the Oaklawn Anywhere app, now is the time. And they're not done with racing because stay until May is the big phrase this year. They're going to have live racing at Oaklawn all the way through Kentucky Derby Day this year. The schedule has changed. So you can sign up, use the Oaklawn Anywhere app anywhere, but sign up right now, use the promo code RUSH, and get a $150 sign-up bonus in your account. You can get it at the Apple App Store, so it's an easy download, and get $150 when you sign up, and all you got to do is use the code RUSH and be set for this weekend for the Arkansas Derby. Huge weekend. Infield's going to be open, so be sure and join them. Beer garden out there, live music, food trucks, kids zone, lots of fun stuff. And again, $150 sign-up bonus by using the promo code RUSH, and get ready for the Arkansas Derby this weekend at Oaklawn.
We've been talking a lot about Eric Musselman and Hunter Yurachek meeting with the media yesterday, and this is something Hunter Yurachek said, and I think this was my favorite clip that he had from yesterday's press conference.
I don't know how my predecessor ran his searches, but I ran my searches in a very close-knit circle. There were many of my senior administrators that were not included in the searches. We did not use a search firm. I feel like it's my role as a director of athletics to be able to identify who is a great fit for our programs here at the University of Arkansas, and that's how I did that.
What a frickin' concept. The athletic director making the hire of a coach, not hiring a search firm. How incredible is that?
Well,
it's almost like it's his job. I thought that, like, right there, I'm like, okay, thank you. Because he gets it. He's like, that's his job, is to go and hire somebody, not to get some search firm to go out and hire some coach. I thought that was also a thing that I thought was really impressed by with Hunter Yurachek yesterday.
First, I'm going to call BS on that statement. Because who helped Jeff Long with all of his searches?
I assume the people that are around him.
Okay, which particular administrator helped Jeff Long with his coaching searches?
I mean, which one?
John Fagg.
Oh, well,
John Fagg. Okay, who helped Hunter Yurachek with this search?
Well, John Fagg. Well, I mean,
so to say that I don't know how my predecessor did anything, nonsense. You get the same guys helping, and you know exactly how it was done in the past. So don't tell me that.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Don't tell me you don't know anything about how Jeff Long did his business here. You got the guy that helped him is helping you. Of course, you know how things went here in the past. But I like everything else he said.
Well, yeah.
I mean, it is his job. Not a search firm's job.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
No.
I've always thought, why do you have an AD if you hire a search firm?
Yeah.
So
no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because it was like I'm not
like
saying
you never asked John Fagg.
Yeah.
Well, how did Jeff do this stuff?
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe it was a little subtle
that
shot.
Never
just
came
be like,
up in conversation.
Maybe
you didn't ask that question.
Maybe it was a subtle shot. Just being like, I don't know how the guy before me did it, but I actually do it something called the right way, where I actually go out and do it the way it's supposed to be done. So kudos to you.
This guy.
Hey, kudos to you, Hunter Yurachek. More of the Morning Rush coming up.
Not satisfied with your new vehicle shopping experience? STP Auto Sales in Bentonville provides a fair experience to everyone. They used to go new vehicle shopping and decided they could do it better. Go to stpautosales.com, choose a vehicle that fits your needs, see if it's available, and ask for a quote and apply for the loan. Pricing sets STP Auto Sales apart from other pre-owned dealers. No high pressure, low prices, convenience of finding what you want online, and a guaranteed satisfying experience. Go to stpautosales.com today. STP, the new way to buy your next vehicle. Looking to find a team that gives you more than just a place to be a stylist? Supercuts team members take pride in maintaining a positive, professional, and creative workplace. Supercuts team members provide the highest quality for guests by attending training courses at our Hairstylist Academy. Supercuts has been the highest base paid in the market, including time off, commission-based performance pay, great tips, company-sponsored health insurance, and much more. Simply apply online at supercuts.com or contact Joe at 520-203-4316.
Are you in the market for a new pool or spa? Seaside Pools and Spas has been constructing quality pools in the four-state area since 1967. It's your one-stop shop for chemicals, equipment, spas, and in-ground pools. With a service department like no other, Seaside Pools and Spas can help you with any repair, maintenance, or renovation needs necessary. Visit Seaside Pools and Spas today in Springdale and Bentonville or online at seasidepools.com.
Hi, I'm Doug Johnson. My mom and dad founded Razorback Camper Sales 50 years ago. It all started back in 1969 on the corner of St. Louis and Airport Road in Hot Springs. Spending time with family and helping our customers make lasting memories is what we've been doing for the last half century. Isn't that right, Mac?
That's right, Papa!
From all of us at Razorback Camper Sales, thank you for the last 50 years.
The morning show that knows the Hogs. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Your number one Arkansas fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Jerry Roller Insurance is a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Call Jerry Roller Insurance today at 479-785-5555 or visit their website at jerryroller.com. Again, that's 479-785-5555 or visit their website at jerryroller.com.
Spring into savings in a new Buick Enclave or Encore from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Save over $8,400 on a 2019 Buick Enclave, loaded with luxury, third-row seating, and all the extras. Only $38,999. Or the number one selling Buick in the market, the 2019 Buick Encore. Just $299 a month, or only $18,999. Spring into savings in a Buick from Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. Who needs coffee in the morning when you have John Neighbors and Tommy Kraft? This is The Morning Rush.
Welcome back into The Morning Rush, where we are brought to you by World of Wireless.
You know, if you struggle for high-speed internet or at least good enough internet at your home to stream Netflix, Hulu, any of that kind of stuff, your kids to play Fortnite, can you imagine John Neighbors having a home where he couldn't play Fortnite?
Be the worst.
Lord help me if my 9-year-old, if the internet at my home somehow became so slow he couldn't play Fortnite. I mean, life would be over at that point.
No
if
reason
you live
to
in
live.
that, no reason to live at all. Fortnite wouldn't work. Hey, if those are some of the and listen, I mean, internet and communication has become like one of the necessities. We used to say food, clothing, and shelter. I think transportation and communication are on that list anymore. Internet's become part of that, and if you don't have it, or the internet you have because you live in an area that doesn't provide internet with fast enough speeds, you have like DSL and you're getting like 1.5 meg. There are options out there. Go to wowfastinternet.com. Areas in the River Valley, south and east of Fort Smith, there is a growing network. Ozark area, they have got a tower, a network of towers, over 40 towers now with fiber to air. And they'll explain it all to you. But they have fiber service. It goes wirelessly to towers and wirelessly to your house, and it gives you speed you can count on, service you can count on, and then you can be watching Netflix. Your kids can be playing games, and a lot of times you can do it. I mean, you can be doing all that at once. There's different service plans, and it's very affordable as well. WowFastInternet.com. You can find out if you live in the coverage area. You can find out about service plans and find out more, and it's all from World of Wireless, a local company. 877-305-3474, or again online at WowFastInternet.com.
Let's go to the phone lines. John is in Fort Smith. What's going on, John?
So, you know, I remember the top out during the search. They were talking about, like, I was correct at the ground, like maybe $6 million was the top out we were looking to spend to get a good coach, yeah? Something like that.
I mean, there was rumors going around that they were going to spend a lot of money. It was somewhere in the ballpark of anywhere like $5 to $6 million. That was the rumor, yes.
Yeah. So then we ended up with Musselman, and, like, when you look at his contract, he got 2.5, right?
That's right, $2.5 million, 5-year deal, I believe.
5-year deal. I mean, that's a deal. I mean, considering, you know, because he's been around, he did CBA, didn't he? And he's kind of been in a couple different leagues, right?
Oh, yeah.
Including
the NBA. You know.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know he was touring the NBA, but I think he did CBA as well.
Yeah, he did the USBL. He was in the CBA. He was in the D League. I mean, pretty much any league that you can be in when it comes to basketball, he's coached in.
Yeah, so when you look at it, it's like this doesn't seem like it's a horrible shot. You know, it's not a huge contract. The incentives aren't really huge. Like you said earlier, it was kind of like it's more about you getting there that first time and maybe a little bit of a second time. It's worth a shot, but I mean, if he doesn't produce in a couple of years, I mean, this is one of those things where I don't think we're not losing much, and I don't think we're risking a whole lot either. And it wouldn't be that hard to just turn around and be like, he's not a good fit, because we're not going to let him sit like Bielema did. Like, if we were to cross-reference things, we're not going to let him sit for 5 years, something like that anyway, if he doesn't produce within the next 2 or 3, right?
Well, his buyout's 70% of his remaining contract, so that's not nothing to sneeze at. I'm not, that's not unbearable.
It's not a huge contract either, right? I mean, let's be honest here.
It's kind of even with what Mike was making, so to speak.
Right on. I guess we'll see how it turns out.
And that pretty much right, John? Is pretty much what Mike Anderson was making.
Yeah, pretty much. So appreciate the phone call, John, at Fort Smith. It's around there, and because honestly, I'm not trying to say that it was like a bad deal for Musselman. I was just surprised that it was only $2.5 million. But what he was making at Nevada, I mean, it's a huge jump. So it's not like he's being in some certain situation where it's not good for him. But I think that as far as what John was saying, though, he did make a good point. Arkansas got a good deal on the fact, and the buyout's going to be better. We just don't know how high of a risk it's going to be.
Hey, check out Kevin Hickey Law Partners online at kevinhickeylaw.com. You can call them at 479-434-2414 in their River Valley office, 479-802-6560 in Northwest Arkansas. Any legal matter, divorce, child custody issue, DHS, or a criminal matter, doesn't matter. Kevin Hickey can take care of it. If you need a lawyer to fight for you from your corner aggressively, Kevin Hickey can do it. KevinHickeyLawPartners.com in Fort Smith and Bentonville. KevinHickeyLaw.com.
It's your piece of land, your point of pride, your place of peace and quiet. Your yard means something to you. so mow like you mean business. With a professional-grade Gravely zero-turn mower. Gravely means comfort. Gravely means strength. Gravely means cutting precision. Gravely mowers mean business. Gravely, build to mow the distance.
At Michelob Ultra, we know it's not just about how much you work out every day. It's about how much you work into every day, too. So we brew our beer for those who realize that expending calories should never come at the expense of spending time with friends. Those who understand that just because you work out doesn't mean you can't go out. And that's why we brew Michelob Ultra to have 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a crisp, clean taste. Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who live fit, live fun, live Ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2018 Michelob Ultra Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams of protein, and 0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
Spring is in the air. Not in the house, Dalton. Okay, AJ. Aw, snap, I told you not in the house. Red Kool-Aid all over the white carpet. Mom and Dad are gonna... Okay, AJ. I can't believe it. We're so in trouble. I told you so.
Thank you for calling Service Master Clean. This is Tanya. How can I help you?
Tanya, it's Dalton. For the clean you expect and the service you deserve. Think Service Master Clean. Visit us online at smcleanonline.com.
Got a mystery stain on the carpet and the kids insist they don't know what it is? Or you're just ready to give the house a good spring cleaning? Call Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Call today for spring specials.
Service Master Clean. For the clean you expect and the service you deserve. It's okay, AJ.
ESPN 95.3.
Hear me talk a lot about family and one Razorback, and I want coaches that first of all want to be here that I think fit with their other 14 or 15 head coaches.
That was Hunter Yurachek speaking about the type of coach that he wanted and how he wanted a coach that wanted to be here at Arkansas. So a very important point for him to make. You're listening to The Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out all new 2019 Toyota vehicles at your local Arkansas Toyota dealer, including the Highlander with plenty of room up to 8 people, the stylish new Corolla, the work-ready family tough Tundra, and the go-anywhere 4Runner. Toyota, let's go places. Of course, we've been discussing Eric Musselman and Hunter Yurachek in their press conference yesterday. So many things that they talked about that we've been discussing. Of course, we'll continue to take your phone calls. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. And, as far as what the process was like with this, Tommy, because I think this is what's the fascinating part about it. You were, obviously, I know you were on vacation last week, but you still were following the coaching surge. And just through social media and all that. And the amount of reports and things that were being rumored and being talked about and who was doing what. And I think we even discussed it here in the first hour. For a while there, especially late last week, it was starting to feel like this was on the very edge of dumping into desperation and insanity. Just because of how the rumors were swirling around of how this process was actually going. And it seemed like, at least the perception, was that coaches, big-time coaches that you were going after, were turning you down. It seemed like the guys that you were wanting to go after were like a Chris Beard offering him an substantiated amount of money was not somebody that was realistic. And if you were holding out hope for them, you were probably going to be disappointed. It was just really on the brink of getting to a point to where it was going to be an embarrassment for Razorback fans. And then now that the hire's been made and hearing a lot of the processes that went around behind it, where essentially Eric Musselman was talked to early last week about the job, really wanted it, and he was kind of in limbo for almost a week because he was holding out. He wanted the job so bad, but they were going to talk to other people too. So it was a tough process not only on Arkansas and Hunter Yurachek, but on Eric Musselman and his family as well.
Well, I think a couple things, just piecing together some credible information from 2 or 3 different places and hearing Hunter Yurachek talk. I think essentially what happened, I think Chris Beard was in play because there is a major Little Rock booster that was going to put him in play and financially was going to make it happen. And when this guy makes a phone call, things happen. And I think if Chris Beard had lost out of the tournament a round or 2 earlier, he would have at least had a legitimate interview and would have had something truly to consider. And it just didn't pan out that way. Musselman was interviewed early, as we said, and we were talking about him, and there was a lot of talk around the state about Eric Musselman, and then it went quiet. And, his wife had made the comment early about he's not going anywhere. There's the video of him in the practice center out there, and the belief was he had turned Arkansas down, perhaps. What no one considered is there wasn't an offer yet to that point. And, but there was, everybody was kind of wondering what had happened, and the trail had went cold. There was people thought that Fran McCaffrey was in the mix, and that was never true.
Thank goodness.
It was Steve Forbes they'd interviewed in Iowa City because he was there with family after the death of his father. So, there was just some things, and they had went around the country talking to about 3 or 4 people. But it always came back, and, and ADs are always going to say, well, I got the guy I wanted all along.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would have been interesting to see what Beard would have done had he lost a round or two earlier, and they'd actually got to have that conversation.
Doesn't it feel like a similar instance to the whole, before Chad Morris was hired, of waiting on Gus Malzahn? It's like, well, if he loses to Bama, then it may open up a whole new opportunity for Arkansas, and it didn't happen. It was almost like the same way with Chris Beard, where you're going to have to pay a lot of money to get a coach of that caliber in. But, going back to the basketball side of things, though, I think it was an interesting process because just after talking with Hunter Yurachek and the things that were made, it seemed like Hunter Yurachek, though, he really wanted Eric Musselman after interviewing him. I think he truly did. I think that once he did his research and he had talked to him originally, that was the guy. But you mentioned that there were that Little Rock Booster, and I think there were some others. I was like, okay, well, let's just wait until we can at least get a conversation with Chris Beard. And once that didn't happen, I think Yurachek's like, guys, we got to make a move. We got to do this now. We got to make this decision. And then they made the decision on Eric Musselman. So I think that the process of it all was handled really well by Hunter Yurachek. But you can also understand too that, like, hey, if you have at least a chance to talk to Chris Beard, you're not going to turn that down, are you? I mean, you're not going to look away from an opportunity like that.
But once he got to the Final Four, it became pretty clear that wasn't really a realistic avenue. I mean, if he had lost out in the Sweet 16 or Elite 8 round, I think it was a realistic avenue for a candidate. But once he got to the Final Four, I think once they qualified for the Final Four, they had moved on with the search.
Yeah.
They just knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, and Eric Musselman was asked about this process and just, after the interview and having to wait, because, again, I can't imagine what that's like as a coach where, from what it looks like, he wanted the job so badly. Going back and watching film, as soon as he got the phone call from Hunter Yurachek about an interview, he goes in and starts watching film on the Razorback basketball players. I mean, this guy wanted this job so much and so bad that to have to wait a few days was not an easy process. In fact, he was asked about the process and what it meant. Here's what he had to say.
It was hard on my family. I've been around the business so much, but the great thing is the communication with Hunter. I think you're coaching in the NBA. Your success as a head coach is how do you get along with ownership and your relationship with general managers, and at the collegiate level, how does a head coach and his athletic director, how is their relationship? And the thing that was like so exciting is the more I talked to Hunter, the more I was like, I really want to work for him. So the wait was, a day seems like a week seems like a month. But having said all that, I've been a part of, basketball for so long. It's probably a little bit harder on your family, but well worth the wait for sure.
So I thought that was just an interesting take from him and just the process of it all, because we only see it from one side here when we're talking about it in Arkansas. You only see it from the side of the university, but when it comes to somebody like Musselman, and that process is what he's having to go through, where he wants a job, but also you don't want to go all in and get outed about you being so interested in this job where it's jeopardizing the job that you currently have in case you don't get it, which is why I feel like, and I think we all had fun with it when he put out that video of him practicing in the practice facility, making sure his location was on, saying that he is in Reno, in Nevada, instead of the report saying that he was in Fayetteville. It was all done with purpose and all done to make sure that you have to balance that out just in case you don't get the job. You don't want to upset the people you were currently with. So it was, I'm sure, a very strenuous process for Eric Musselman having to deal with all that.
Well, and, you're starting to weigh it out, and as he talked about a lot, family, gets very strained and stressed trying to consider everything here. You know, you got to uproot your whole family and all your children and their school and all of that and move literally halfway across the country to a new time zone, a whole new culture, a whole new life. And but that's the coaching business. He was asked later on about all the homes and apartments and places he had lived, and he couldn't even recollect how many times he had moved as a child. So, you know, I don't want to compare it to military because, you know, Lord knows they serve our country in a far greater capacity, but there's some similarities in the fact that military kids move a lot. Well, coaches' kids move a lot, and that's just part of the business you go through. And I think he probably is understanding of that and doesn't want to put his family through that process and you know, without a lot of weight and consideration. And but honestly, the chance to go from Nevada, a program he built into a top 20 program for the last couple of years, to an SEC program, into a Power 5 league, and then obviously you got to consider the finances of it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, to jump up in a $2.5 million job, this is, you know, when you're in your 50s, we're talking about setting yourself up for the rest of your life here kind of money.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to consider on the table when this is the kind of job you want at this point in your life to line your coffers a little bit for retirement. I'm sure he's made some good money along the ways, but this is the kind of thing that'll set up your nest egg for the rest of your life.
Yeah, and not to mention the fact, because he made this comment in the press conference, too. We don't have the audio for it, but he made the comment about how when he was in Reno and at Nevada, one of the things that really was a negative dealing with that program was that the fact that there was not a single recruit that he had while he was there that was within driving distance of Reno. Like,
right.
not a single one, which is really, if you really think about something as simple as that, but I mean, that's a big deal where it's like any player that you want, you can't just get in the car and go and visit them or drive there. It's like you would almost have to fly to go and visit just to recruit. And that was one of the reasons why he brought up how he had to rely on the transfers so much in Nevada. Is it had nothing to do with the fact that's just what he wanted to do. He wanted to get transfers in. He had to do it out of necessity because it just wasn't a place and wasn't an area that had a lot of big-time high school talent within an area to where he could access easily. And at a place like Arkansas, we've talked about the in-state talent, and I know that gets brought up a lot as far as the guys, which there is a lot of in-state talent, and there is year in and year out. But you're also within driving distance to some other pretty solid hotbeds for talent. I mean, you're within driving distance, I believe at least, to go to a place like Dallas, to go down to Louisiana, to go over to the Memphis area. Maybe you can get in there too. I know that's Penny Hardaway's place, but go into the Memphis area. St. Louis. I mean, there's other places around that were within driving distance that have really big-time recruits, and I think more so than anything, that's also going to be able to help him and answer a lot of questions about his recruiting because he actually gets to go out and recruit guys in the area and see what he can do instead of having to rely only on transfers like he had to do at Nevada.
Well, it tells me this is a guy that'll do whatever he's got to do to win.
That's right.
You know, so if it's transfers that we got to have right now to win right now, then that's what we're going to do. And if it's high school players, then we're going to do that. And you know, so I don't think this idea or perception that he doesn't want to recruit high school players, I think is false. I think he cleared that up yesterday. He's just going to have to do what he's got to do to win, and he's going to get the best players that are available to him. And he does have a little bit different view because of working at different levels of basketball, having some professional background in the sport. You know, makes him look at the roster maybe a little different than a traditional college roster. But I think all of that is good. But I think this is a state, like you said, particularly Central Arkansas, that produces some really good players that can play at the SEC level, and I think he will be keenly zeroed in on the best players in this state quickly.
Yep, because you got to be. And if he's able to get one big recruiting class, just one big recruiting class here soon, it's going to change a lot of things, get a lot of people on board. That is for sure. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. We have to take a commercial break, but before we do, Tommy is going to tell you about Gaston's.
Yeah, and it's not far from Easter weekend. Make your plans for Easter Sunday to spend it at Gaston's, maybe even Easter weekend. You can reserve your cabin or lodge right now by calling 870-431-5202 and spend Easter weekend at Gaston's. Make part of that weekend on Easter Sunday with their Easter buffet. They'll have some breakfast items, have plenty of lunch items. It'll be a great brunch and a great way to spend Easter is going to be at Gaston's White River Resort. Here's some of the, I've got a sneak peek at the menu I can share with you. Of course, plenty of breakfast favorites, scrambled eggs, biscuits and gravy, eggs Benedict, plenty of sausage and bacon. Going to have chicken marsala, shrimp pasta with lobster sauce, a great carving station with carved baked ham, roast New York strip, and they'll have a leg of lamb there as well. So plenty of options for everyone in the family. And, of course, their famous John Boat salad bar to start everything off. Plenty of desserts and lots more for everyone in the whole family. So be sure and join them for Easter at Gaston's White River Resort. 870-431-5202. Call today and get that table right by the window that you want for that group of 8 or 10 or 12 or even 4, whatever fits your family's needs. They can take care of you at Gaston's for Easter, whether it's 10:30, 11, noon, 12:30. Call right now and get the time you need at Gaston's. 870-431-5202 for Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's, a first-class time every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
What's your more? Maybe it's more early morning duck calls at your own private duck club. Whatever you'd like more of, Mega Millions from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery can turn those dreams into reality. And the next drawing is for more than $110 million. So go to your local lottery retailer and get your ticket to more today. This is winning. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Kick off the season the right way with a new RV from Crabtree RV in Alma. Crabtree is extending our RV show pricing all season long. Check out our spring show specials like a Salem 207 with a slide and bunks for $147 a month. And with RV show pricing, you can take up to $10,000 off of MSRP on new travel trailers and up to $15,000 off new fifth wheels. And we'll still give you more for your trade than the other guys. At Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
When you drive a Toyota Tundra or Tacoma, weekdays and weekends are two entirely different beasts. While an awe-inspiring view on a weekday might sound something like this.
Hon, there's a raccoon going through our trash again.
An awe-inspiring view on the weekend sounds a little more like this.
Whoa, Dad, this is crazy!
And while a bold adventure on the weekdays might be something like,
all right, kids, time to drive 3 hours to your swim meet.
Bold adventures on the weekend are closer to something like... Weekday?
Oh, cool. A standing desk.
Weekend.
Oh, cool. A ski boat.
You get the idea. Make your weekends more exciting than the days before them in the virtually indestructible Toyota Tundra and Tacoma. Toyota, let's go places. Qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 72 months on a new, rugged and dependable 2019 Toyota Tundra Special Edition. Hurry in today. Visit gstoffers.com for details. Offers available in select states and in 4/30/19.
This is the Morning Rush.
Spring has arrived and it's time to get your golf game in shape. The Golf Nut is your one-stop shop for everything golf. Looking for a new driver or fairway wood? Try out the new Callaway Epic Flash, tailor-made M5 or M6, the new Ping G410, or the Cobra F9. Need shoes? The Golf Nut has a great selection of shoes from FootJoy, Adidas, New Balance, Skechers, and Echo, and the new FootJoy shirts are now back in stock. As always, check Facebook for daily specials. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith's #1 golf shop since 1994.
What does that mean?
It means they are the best of the best.
Okay.
It means that Jody'sAuto.com was voted by the people that deal with them.
Their customers.
As best at first getting the car in one of their 3 shops quickly, finding out what was wrong with it, fixing it right the first time, and charging the customers a fair price for the repairs.
Getting it in, getting it out quickly at a fair price. Huh.
Real simple. Jody'sAuto.com. Best of the best.
Jody'sAuto.com. One stop for the best tire brands at the best prices, price match guarantee, and these folks know tires. 3 oil change specials. One stop for all services, all repairs, all maintenance, towing, and fleets. 3 locations, 2 in Fort Smith and 1 in Van Buren. When you have made up your mind to live by 3 words, do what's right, being voted by your customers best of the best is quite an honor. Convenience and trust since 1984. Jody'sAuto.com, best of the best.
Tri-Hill Turf offers the highest quality turf and pest services. Hey, you say those are big words. Well, let's see. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has a company agronomist, state and nationally certified technicians, free soil testing, and they even have precision GPS guided application equipment. Now that's high tech. For over 30 years, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest has used the latest application technology, and they strive for turf and pest excellence. They are your local turf and pest experts. Call the local team at 782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest.
Arts is more than barbecue and burgers. As a matter of fact, Arts has some of the best fried shrimp, grilled tilapia, and salmon you will find. And don't forget the catfish at Arts. Full-size meaty fillets, fried crispy golden brown, with hush puppies and all the fixins. And every Friday is Catfish Friday, featuring their catfish special at lunch and the all-you-can-eat Friday night special. Arts, more than just great barbecue and burgers. Try one of the shrimp or fresh fish entrees at Arts Barbecue on Rogers Avenue next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Call them at 479-997-2366 or log on to BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
ESPN 95.3. This is your Hog Update, presented by Ozark Sportsman Supply, the biggest and best selection of hunting gear you'll find anywhere.
All right, it's time for your Hog Update, presented by Ozark Sportsman Supply.
Hey, it's turkey season, a lot of spring stuff going on. Get by Ozark Sportsman Supply for the biggest and best selection of hunting gear you're going to find anywhere. Largest selection of firearms in the state. It's your one-stop shop for firearms, accessories, ammo, everything you need. Philip and their crew, locally owned, great local experts to take care of everything you need. Huge indoor, temperature-controlled, 15-lane shooting range. You're going to find everything you need. Camo, archery supplies, hunting and fishing gear. It's all under one roof at Ozark Sportsman Supply. Locally owned, locally operated. You're going to love what you find at Ozark Sportsman Supply. Look at their website, ozarksportsman.net, but get by and see them. Highway 412, just west of Springdale in Tawnytown, or again online at ozarksportsman.net.
So in case you're just joining us, obviously the Hog Update is Eric Musselman was officially introduced to the Razorback Nation yesterday in a press conference. Hunter Yurachek and him, we played a lot of audio from that, so had a lot of takes from that. Arkansas baseball takes on Oral Roberts tonight at 6:30 p.m., and one of those midweek games, and of course having a big SEC series going on this weekend, which is always a lot of fun as well. And I thought this was interesting too. Arkansas Democrat-Gazette with Bob Holt, he reported that Scotty Thurman and Matt Zimmerman would like to stay on staff in some capacity. Now, I know that was kind of the question that was up in the air yesterday. I got a few questions about assistant coaches and whatnot, but Z and Scotty want to stay, or at least stay in some capacity. In fact, Scotty Thurman is still going out and still recruiting as of right now. So I think that's a little bit of a fascinating thing. It makes me wonder, though, Tommy, if Eric Musselman will retain any of the coaches or administrators or anybody who are in those roles that Mike Anderson had.
Well, we've seen this before in football when Barry Lunny stayed on and just kept recruiting, and Chad Morris kept him on staff. So these are some of the things that, these guys, about Zimmerman and Scotty Thurman, they need jobs. Mike Anderson doesn't have a head coaching job to offer them a staff position somewhere. And Scotty Thurman seems like a fit because of his obvious legacy with the program. He addressed that yesterday and talked about it and said he's wanting to interview everyone on the staff. I would assume that includes Melvin Watkins, TJ Cleveland's relationship with Mike. I don't know how that's going to factor into anything. I would imagine some of his staff from Nevada is going to come with him. So it'll be an interesting mix, and we'll see if there's maybe some guys that weren't at Nevada and haven't been at Arkansas that also enter the equation. So it'll be interesting to see how the staff is comprised over the next couple of weeks. And you're short on time, so I think you're going to end up with probably one or two people off of this current Arkansas staff in some capacity. May not be directly on the bench, but in some capacity working with Coach Musselman.
Yeah, that's going to be the fascinating thing, because we discussed it a little bit yesterday, that assistant coaches, those are vital. It's vital to have those guys, not only just having them on the court and game situations and all of that, but as far as recruiting goes. I mean, a lot of these big-time programs that get a lot of these big-time players rely heavily on their assistant coaches to do the majority of the recruiting. So it'll be fascinating to see who Eric Musselman decides to go with, and also if any of the coaches that are currently on staff at Arkansas are being able to retain. So there you have it. There's your Hog update presented by Ozark Sportsman Supply. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. I know we got Gary and Fort Smith on the line, as well as some others calling in as well. We'll get to all of your phone calls here in just a second, continuing to talk about Eric Musselman. Your reactions to his press conference yesterday. Do you feel more excited after it? Less excited? About the same? What's your overall feelings on Eric Musselman now being the head coach of Arkansas basketball? We'll talk about that and a lot more on the other side of the break in 2 minutes. Stay with us, folks. This is The Morning Rush.
Hot dog! Spring is finally here and not a moment too soon. Hi folks, Larry Rath here with a better way to drive at Rath Auto Resources. No spring training here. Our all-star team is ready to help you hit a home run with savings up to $3,200 below retail. And the bases are loaded with the freshest inventory in the fort. Cars, trucks, SUVs, all the most popular makes and models right here in one spot. To make this team, these vehicles have to be Rath Road ready. That means they're hand-picked, then inspected and reconditioned in our own Meineke Car Care Center, so you know you're getting the very best pre-owned vehicle you can buy. If you're keeping the car you have, turn the double play in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and up to $200 savings on a set of Cooper tires. Don't commit an error on your next used car purchase. Knock it out of the park with up to $3,200 below retail. At Arkansas's #1 rated and reviewed independent dealer and proud sponsor of the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, Rath Auto Resources, and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price affects trade allowance.
At Hardee's, we love to surprise people. Not like getting summoned to jury duty or mistaking your backpack for a parachute. Our surprises are good, like adding our delicious loaded omelet biscuit to our 2 for $4 mix and match deal. Choose between our loaded omelet biscuit, our tasty Frisco breakfast sandwich, our bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or our savory sausage and egg biscuit. Get any 2 for $4. It's the best kind of surprise. I mean, it's no pulling into a paid parking meter, but it's a close second.
Hardee's, because it tastes better.
Offer available for a limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Whole lot of sunshine with us today. Our high temperatures this afternoon into the lower 80s. We will be clear and quiet tonight, mid-50s. Tomorrow, sunny, warm and windy. Our high in the low 80s with winds anywhere from 25 to 35 miles per hour. Thursday, back to partly cloudy skies, highs near 80. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Weather is brought to you by Mosquito Joe. Don't let mosquitoes ruin your outside fun this year. Call Mosquito Joe at 479-202-9960 to keep your yard mosquito-free, or visit arkansas.mosquitojoe.com.
Radio station.
KERX, Paris Fort Smith, from the Bush and Bushlight Studios. This is ESPN 95.3. Broadcasting live from the Toyota Studios, this is The Morning Rush.
When I first got into college recruiting, the biggest thing is, can I recruit? And by the looks of my wife, I'm an absolutely incredible recruiter.
Pretty good. He's pretty good.
First of all, it's a great day to be a Razorback. Man, what a difference a year makes, and guys knowing what we expect on game day.
Razorback Nation, this is Coach Musselman. We're on our way to Fayetteville. Go Hogs.
With John Neighbors.
Every time you put a mic in my face, I'm going to say Arkansas.
And Tommy Kraft.
My friends and I, we drank beer, liked beer, still like beer.
The Morning Rush starts right now.
2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Appreciate everybody listening in on this beautiful day here in the great state of Arkansas. John Neighbors, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, all in studio with you today. And thank you, as always, for making us a part of your morning this morning on a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out all new 2019 Toyota vehicles at your local Arkansas Toyota dealer, including the Highlander, with plenty of room up to 8 people, the stylish new Corolla, the work-ready family tough Tundra, and the Go Anywhere 4Runner. Toyota, Let's Go Places. Been discussing a lot about Eric Musselman and Hunter Yurachek in their press conferences yesterday. And we, of course, we've been taking your phone calls on your reactions. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. Let's go to the phone lines. Gary is in Fort Smith. What's going on, Gary?
Hey, guys. I was very enthusiastic and energized by the new coach yesterday. I thought it was genuine what he showed as far as desire for the job. I was really impressed by that. I think he did an excellent job in re-recruiting the current players that we need to keep on the roster. And, it's not like football where you need 50 studs. You need 3 studs and 5 role players. And so you can turn this around a lot faster than football. And, we played Texas Tech this year in basketball, right?
That's right.
What was that score?
I think it was 60. I think it was 67-64 is a 3-point loss for Arkansas,
okay.
if I remember.
So it was a one-possession game. So it's not like we're way off here. And obviously we got some holes to fill, but people forget these kids come to school not for the education. They're trying to get to the next level to get paid. And he's been at all these different levels to give them excellent counsel, whether it's the G League, the overseas, the NBA, and that's a great recruiting tool. And I think he's going to be able to get some people in here that we haven't been able to get in here before, and that's really what excites me is we're going to be able to get some players, and whether it's transfers or 5-star recruits or in-state recruits or JUCO players or a combination of all that, I think that's and with his energy level, I think the fan base is really going to get behind him, and that's really what I have my take on yesterday.
Okay, well, appreciate the phone call as always, Gary. Have a good one, man. I think that's an interesting point that Gary brought up, and something maybe we haven't discussed as much, but I want to get into it. Is dealing with how high school recruiting and just recruiting in general is done in college basketball, where there's not just. You don't have kids that want to go and get educations anymore, as well as in a perfect world that you could have it to say, you know what, kids just want to come to Arkansas because it's a great school, a great place, and they want to go and get their degree from the university. In a perfect world, that'd be the case. But, all these players, they're just looking to get to that next level, and that was something that just really hindered Mike Anderson, is that he did not have the resume. He did not have situations to point to as far as helping you get to the next level. Even like if you're a 5-star player, if you were a Bobby Portis, who you were going to go into the NBA pretty much no matter where you went to school, he had instances like that. But there really wasn't any player they could point to and say, hey, this guy came in as an athlete that didn't get a lot of offers. We worked with him over a 2-3 year span, turned him into an NBA player, and here he is. Like, you just didn't have that example where with Eric Musselman, I'm telling you, that's going to resonate a lot with these kids, where he can point to a lot of these kids that he has recruited and developed. He can point to the fact that, hey, I coached NBA players. I coached guys in the D League. I've coached professionals, and so I know how they do it. I know what they see, and I can help prepare you for that league and getting you to that level. I think, Tommy, that's going to resonate in recruiting more so than any other factor that Eric Musselman has, and I'm sure he's going to use it to his advantage as well.
Is that the biggest area Arkansas has more headroom for improvement is recruiting?
Without a doubt.
I don't think Mike was a horrible coach as far as, I think he took a rap for end of the game strategy and drawing up a play that would win you a game with 10 seconds to go or something like that, because it did, because if the shot didn't go in, it was the coach's fault.
Right.
And that's not always true. But I don't think Mike got the credit he deserved for coaching the team. But I think the one thing that Mike clearly couldn't do is he didn't get the dudes in here to win the games. I think clearly the place that Arkansas can improve the most immediately is just getting dudes, getting players. And I think you're right. His background, Eric Musselman's background, his resume, his connections, his Rolodex, all of these things got to go into telling a story. Because that's what when you meet in the living room with a player and their parents and their family, you got to tell your story and why you're the right fit and why the University of Arkansas is the right fit. And they got to believe in you. And I think you're right. His story has enough professional basketball background that it makes sense that he's the guy that can can show you the way. And that's one thing that's going to happen at Arkansas in the first 3 or 4 years is he's going to have to get some players to the league consistently, one way or the other. Yep. And Mike just didn't have enough of those, and that was what hurt Mike is, he could get beat up on the recruiting trail by, hey, Arkansas is not a place that can get you paid down the road.
Yeah, and I don't want to sit here and dump on Mike Anderson because obviously he's gone and he's moving on and Arkansas's moving on, but that not only just getting the guys in there, but the development, Tommy, I just never felt like there was – I mean, I'm sure there were a few players like a Michael Qualls I feel like got better over time and obviously was really close to getting drafted but had that injury in the NBA Combine, which who knows how that would have changed. But he just never felt like even those big guys and those playmakers that came in, a lot of the times they never got better or at least didn't develop the way that you would have hoped. Bobby Portis got better. I didn't feel like Daniel Gafford necessarily got better. It's always about the circumstances that you're into with the team around you. But that's another thing that with this current roster that Eric Musselman is inheriting, it makes you wonder if there's actually a couple of these guys that just a few adjustments and a few ways to work with them can be all the difference in the world where they go from just being a decent or average role player into being a bona fide playmaker. Because I feel like in basketball, sometimes a few tweaks, sometimes just a few differences in the practices, sometimes just being aware of your opponents and scouting reports, which I know that Eric Musselman hit really heavy as far as trying to get scouting reports down, and that's what we're really going to hammer home with these guys. Just a few things like that can go so far in developing a player and making them into a guy that can maybe not play in the NBA, but have a nice career in Europe or overseas playing somewhere else, which is nothing to sneeze at either. So it's just having those little intricacies and being able to make those little developments, I think go a long way, not only in the long term, but a long way for some of these guys that are currently on roster that just need the right coaching to be able to put them in those positions to go pro and to have some sort of career in basketball after they leave Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and that's the bottom line, and that's what all players are looking for anyway. I mean, you've got to be able to show them that. I mean, it's a total package. It's just one piece of the puzzle, but that's just one area Mike wasn't able to show enough of. And we don't know what Daniel Gafford's going to end up as, but Bobby Portis was really the one main central piece of that part of his resume. Mm-hmm. And you just got to have more to it down the road, and hopefully Eric Musselman can build that. But that's not going to. That's one of those things. It's not going to happen. He's going to have to rely on some things in the past, and we're going to have to learn more about some of the players he's gotten there in the past at Nevada and other places.
Let's just have fun with this, Tommy, because no one's going to hold us accountable for what we say, right? No one's going to care what we say in the past. So Arkansas goes 18-16 this past season. All right, 8-10 in conference play. After next season ends, is their record better than what it was this past season? Mm-hmm. Do you think it is?
Conference play.
Do they do better than 18-16, 8-10 in conference play after next season ends?
See, the problem is you can't just say yes automatically, because when you take Daniel Gafford off this team, mm-hmm. and I don't know who's going to replace him, I just can't jump right out there and say absolutely because Eric Musselman's the coach. Absolutely, they're going to do better. I just can't jump right out there and say that when you're losing a player of the caliber of Daniel Gafford. That I just can't. I can't go there.
Yeah,
I'm not. And they may. I just can't. I could not confidently say yes and truly believe that. No, I couldn't.
See, well, and here's the thing. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just,
and they may do that. They may win 22 games. I don't know. I mean, I need more information.
Right.
I need to see who's going to be these next two or three players he's going to get in here, because mm-hmm. that's going to tell a lot about it. Is who's going to play the 4 and 5, because mm-hmm. they need a lot of help there right now.
And so let me take it one step further. Then, say if they do get a couple of good players in, just for transfers or JUCOs or whatever they get in. Is there enough talent on the roster right now to at least elevate it? And with the development, is there enough talent to where all they need is a couple pieces here and there to be a good team next year?
Here's what I will say. There were, 3 games, maybe 4, where they lost some. How many games did they win close in SEC play? Not very many. There were a few. And the ones you think about winning close is the Indiana game, not even a conference game. seems like there were more close shaves that you came down on the losing side of than the winning side of. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, because I think Ole Miss, LSU, and A&M are the only ones that were really close. But yes,
right. So can a guy like Eric Musselman come in and say, give your team the confidence and the lift they need to take some of those close losses and like you said, turn two of those from L's to 2 wins. I mean, now you're 500 or better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we're talking about.
That's
Can
right.
a coach draw up the play that does execute, does get the ball in the hole, does score at the end? Whatever. That's where a coach can make a 1 or 2, because that's what you're talking about ultimately is how do you go from 8-10 to 9-9? Well, we're talking about one game here.
That's right.
Well, a coach can make a 1-game difference without making huge adjustments in the roster. Can you make it 2? Can you flip that? Go 10-8? Perhaps. I mean, that's not when you look and analyze at what Arkansas did this year. That's not that big a difference.
It's not.
Because there were a couple of games that you lose at the end close, and it's a play here, a play there, and that's the difference in Mike Anderson still being your coach, and you got Eric Musselman now.
Yep. Made all the difference in the world. But I think it's fascinating to think how it's going to end up after next season. Could be better. It could be a little worse, but I think fans are going to be excited regardless of the outcome. 877-377-6963 is the number to call in. This is the Morning Rush, brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas.
Hey, still time to start your spring and summer out with a splash. In-ground pools and above-ground pools available with Burton Pools and Spas. If you think, well, I've waited too long, here it is. We're already into April, and I'm going to miss the swimming season. Well, you're wrong. It's not too late. You can call right now and start the planning process with Burton Pools and Spas. Above-ground pools can quickly be installed in your backyard. And right now, Doughboy above-ground pool packages still have that $500 special for a few more days where you get the full complete package and save $500. We're talking the full package with pool, includes the liner, the pump, the filter, everything you need for your family to be enjoying quickly a backyard of your dreams this summer and this spring. Right now with Burton Pools and Spas. These 80-degree days, I'm telling you, got you wanting to dip into the water and really enjoy the backyard with your family and friends. In-ground pools can still be done, and a full swimming season can still be ahead of you with Burton Pools and Spas. It only takes Burton's about 3 to 5 weeks to get the construction completed once they get going. But now is the time to start planning, visiting with our design pros and get that done. And before you know it, they'll be in your backyard. It'll be a little bit of a mess for a week or two, but I'm telling you, in about 3 to 4 weeks, they'll have it looking like the backyard of your dreams. Fort Smith and in Springdale. Burton Pools and Spas, just off I-49 in Springdale at the 412 exit, 0 Street in Fort Smith. Let them turn your backyard into an oasis for you. Burton Pools and Spas, online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
The most honest sports radio show in Arkansas. The Morning Rush continues next.
Right now at Riggs Cat, your local cat dealer, get 0% for 48 months or up to $9,000 cash back on new cat compact equipment. Whether you're looking to buy, lease, or rent, we've got the right solution to fit your job site needs. Call Riggs Cat at 844-RIGGS-LR or visit riggscat.com/TV. That's Riggs Cat at 844-RIGGS-LR or visit riggscat.com/TV. Terms and conditions apply.
Start your summer with a splash and big savings on Doughboy above ground swimming pools. For a limited time, you can save $500 on your purchase of a full Doughboy pool package, including pool, liner, pump, and filter. Invest in a refreshing and relaxing pool for your family and experience the Doughboy difference of unmatched quality, longevity, and safety. Visit BurtonPools.com and get your $500 coupon and see Burton Pools and Spas, 6121 0 Street at Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
This is the Morning Rush.
You're born amazing, and at Baptist Health, we want to keep you that way. In fact, that's our mission, to not only provide the most skilled doctors and nurses to heal you from sickness or injury, and comprehensive care to support your recovery, but also to be your guide to health. Also, you can keep on inspiring, keep on reaching, and keep on amazing. For the care that keeps you amazing, visit Baptist-Health.com.
This is Mark Hurst. How important is new technology? That's a question I was recently asked by a student at a career day presentation at a local school. At Hurst Family Dental Care, we use new technology like digital x-rays, an iTero scanner instead of those messy impressions, and an Invisalign outcome simulator which can show you within minutes how Invisalign can straighten your teeth. Give us a call at 474-1972 and let us show you how new technology makes a difference in the way we are able to care for you. Hurst Family Dental Care, a name you know and a name you can trust.
Frank Roll Furniture, with the best seats in the house for the month of April, is offering no sales tax and free delivery within 30 miles. Plus, yes, that's right, plus 15% off on all cash, check, or card sales, and 10% off on our in-store no credit check financing. Again, April, 15% off cash, check, or card, and 10% off our in-store no credit check financing with no sales tax and free delivery within 30 miles. Frank Roll Furniture, the best seats in the house. TVs and appliances excluded.
They're at the post, and they're on Arkansas Derby weekend. There's a lot to get excited about. Beginning with a $1 million Grade 1 Arkansas Derby on Saturday, April 13th. Won last year by Magnum Moon.
Magnum Moon's going to be an undefeated Arkansas Derby winner.
Also that day, race fans can see the country's finest 4-year-olds run in the $750,000 Oaklawn Handicap and the $500,000 Count Fleet Sprint Handicap. Then on Sunday, April 14th at Oaklawn, 9 lucky fans could win an incredible cash bonus.
Cash bonus runs away to win.
During the Progressive Cash Giveaway, there's a $2,000 drawing after the first race, and we'll add $1,000 after each race through the ninth, when someone could walk away with $10,000. Register starting Friday, must be present to win on Sunday. And remember, Oaklawn's racing all the way through May 4th, so stay until May. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-522-4700.
Auto Park in Fort Smith combines over 90 years of family-owned experience with the best sales and service teams around. And at Orr Auto Park, every new vehicle comes with a lifetime engine warranty, free maintenance for 2 years, and free car washes for the life of the vehicle. The largest selection, the biggest discounts, and the best buying experience around. These are some of the reasons why you always score more with Orr Auto Park in Fort Smith. Stop in today, or they are always open online 24/7 at OrAutoPark.com.
Are you looking for a new place to call home? Whether you're looking for an apartment, duplex, townhome, or a house, Trinity Multifamily has you covered. They even have options in surrounding states, from Texas to Michigan and Kansas to Tennessee. If you're looking for a new place to call home, make Trinity Multifamily your first call at 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at TrinityMultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Where can you get award-winning Memphis-style barbecue in Fort Smith? Whole Hog Cafe on Burrow Road across from Cisterna Plaza off 71 South. Feast on world champion barbecue with their famous potato salad and smoky sweet baked beans while watching sports on the big screen. Plan your business meeting in the banquet room that seats 40. If it's a morning meeting, the coffee is on them. And they cater any event, large or small, and provide servers if you want. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner and a convenient drive-thru for takeout orders. The new location on Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith is coming soon.
ESPN 95.3.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. It is now time for your SEC update, presented by Ozark Outpost Casual Clothing and Footwear.
Yeah, the hottest clothing styles at the lowest prices for men and women. Billabong, Southern March, Fayetteville, Banded Lifestyle, Under Armour, Columbia, Carhartt, Blowfish, Southern Tide. We can keep going. They got 10,000 square feet of all your favorite stuff. And it's not just clothes. Shoes, boots, accessories, housewares, furniture. You need to just take some time and walk through. Have some time to walk through it. Ozark Outpost Casual Clothing and Footwear. They got a lot of stuff, and you're going to like a lot of it. And these are the brands you like. These are the hottest stuff, the cool stuff, the stuff you want to wear, the stuff that's comfortable. You going fishing, you want a good Columbia shirt. You want a good Billabong shirt. These are the things that make you comfortable when you're out doing your favorite outdoor stuff. So stop by and see them. Ozark Outpost Casual Clothing and Footwear. Easy to find. Highway 412, just west of Springdale and Tawnytown. And, hey, if you're a college student, bring your college ID, your student ID, get 20% off of your first 2 purchases when you stop by and check out things at Ozark Outpost Casual Clothing and Footwear. Again, Highway 412, just west of Springdale and Tawnytown.
So your SEC update, I guess the biggest news coming from the conference yesterday was this deal with Rick Barnes and Tennessee, which, after the season had ended for Tennessee, they lose in the Sweet 16, which I know was disappointing by a lot of their standards. It's just funny because the last thing I would have thought is like, maybe Rick Barnes is going to leave Tennessee. Like that wasn't even something that was on the radar, but it started happening over the past couple of days where UCLA, who's still looking for a coach, they fired Steve Alford, 2 months ago? Like 68 days, I think is what it's been.
Yeah.
And they still don't have a coach? UCLA, this big-time program? Well, anyways, they started going after Rick Barnes, and it was reported that Rick Barnes was actually really interested in going to UCLA, so you had a lot of this back and forth. Reportedly, UCLA offered Rick Barnes somewhere around $5 million a year to come and be their next coach, but at Tennessee, he decided to stay. He is not going to UCLA.
I saw something last night I was watching the game. One of the other TVs that was on where we were watching it had a crawl across the bottom that said Rick Barnes agrees to stay for something approaching the UCLA proposal. Didn't have details. Be interesting to see when maybe you have some of the numbers, but I hadn't seen anything that is Tennessee actually going to pay him somewhere near $5 million.
I mean, nothing's been set in stone because he was making $3.25 million this past year, and so I mean, I would assume so. That they had to do something, and so did they give him how close to it? I guess is going to be the question. How close to $5 million? Is it 4.5? Is it 4 or whatnot? Yeah. But
his season merited a raise regardless.
Oh, for sure.
So go back to like the same conversation we had with Chris Beard. He was getting a raise regardless. It's these coaches and I know he didn't get as far as people had wanted, but this was not a Final Four national championship year or bust for Rick Barnes. I think he exceeded most people's expectations for Tennessee basketball this year. So this was a raise and extension kind of year for Rick Barnes anyway, based on the results. So whether UCLA sniffed around or not, it probably gave him some leverage and, to get the deal done a little bit faster. And, for Philip Fulmer, he had to kind of put it in high gear all of a sudden.
Yeah. And I know we don't cover it or talk about it very much, but, Tommy, have you ever seen a more disastrous situation than what USC and UCLA football and basketball is in right now in both situations? It's awful in Los Angeles. It's absolutely awful.
UCLA for decades was the standard.
Yeah, and USC football,
John Wooden coached.
Yeah, and USC football with Pete Carroll, they had it going. But it's just a disaster over there in Los Angeles. Terrible college town right here from Los Angeles. So there you have it. There's your SEC update presented by Ozark Outpost Casual Clothing and Footwear. More of the Morning Rush coming up next. Stay with us.
Winner! The next time you walk into your local lottery retailer, you could walk out with a big cash payout. The new Payout family offers 5 different scratch-offs that range from $1 to $20, with prizes from $5,000 all the way up to $500,000. So, whether you're stopping for gas or a cup of coffee, don't forget, you could win an instant jackpot if you grab a payout on your way out. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Hi, this is Tommy Kraft for Ozark Sportsman Supply and Ozark Outpost Casual Clothing and Footwear. There is a reason that folks are traveling from all across the region to shop at the Ozarks. These 2 incredible stores offer the very best in firearms, outdoor gear, top brand clothing, locally made furniture, and more. First, I want to tell you about Ozark Sportsman Supply. This store is an outdoor lover's dream with the largest selection of firearms in the state, a 15-lane indoor temperature-controlled shooting range, and firearm experts on staff. They also carry the top brands and archery equipment, fishing supplies, camo, gun safes, and more. Next, Ozark Outpost Casual Clothing and Footwear. You have never seen a clothing store with this many of the hottest brands under one roof. Outfit the entire family in Under Armour, Carhartt, Miss Me, Southern Tide, Fayette Chill, Columbia, Bandit, and more. 2 stores, 1 great location. Ozark Sportsman Supply and Ozark Outpost Clothing and Footwear, barely out of Springdale and Tontitown. On 412 West, the most unique shopping destination in Arkansas.
Are you in the market for a new pool or spa? Seaside Pools and Spas has been constructing quality pools in the 4-state area since 1967. It's your one-stop shop for chemicals, equipment, spas, and in-ground pools. With a service department like no other, Seaside Pools and Spas can help you with any repair, maintenance, or renovation needs necessary. Visit Seaside Pools and Spas today in Springdale and Bentonville or online at seasidepools.com.
The morning show that knows the Hogs. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Save $14,000 during our Spring Sierra sale at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. All remaining 2018 Sierras must go. Save $14,000 and shop now to pick your color, cab, and options from our huge selection. Or check out the 2019 GMC Acadia, a third-row SUV, for only $399 a month. Just $26,499. Spring into savings at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Kick off the season the right way with a new RV from Crabtree RV in Alma. Crabtree is extending our RV show pricing all season long. Check out our spring show specials like a Salem 207 with a slide and bunks for $147 a month. And with RV show pricing, you can take up to $10,000 off of MSRP on new travel trailers and up to $15,000 off new fifth wheels. And we'll still give you more for your trade than the other guys. At Crabtree RV in Alma, where your family's dreams come true.
ESPN 95.3. Mornings suck. Let John and Tommy make them suck less. This is the Morning Rush.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush. We are brought to you by OG&E.
All right, if your home is in Arkansas and you're an OG&E customer, we got a deal for you. It's a free weatherization program to increase the comfort, but more importantly, here's what we care about, right? Lowering our bill. We want a bill that's lower, particularly this summer when we got the air conditioner on like 68, all right? So here's what they're going to do. You're going to call OG&E at 800-272-9741. They're going to send a trained crew to your home to do an energy audit. Now, what's that mean? They're going to come out and they're going to do some testing. They're going to look around. They're going to get up in your attic. They're going to look around doors. And they're going to do some different stuff. And none of this is going to cost you anything. And if your home qualifies, based on its age and based on a few other factors, their crew is going to install measures that it's going to save you some money. They're going to put in attic insulation, new LED light bulbs, weather stripping, advanced power strips, smoke alarms, carbon monoxide detectors, and a whole lot more. All the things you know you need to be doing. And OG&E is going to do it absolutely free if your home qualifies. Doesn't cost you a thing, so call 800-272-9741. Even the phone call is free. 800-272-9741. It's the free home weatherization program from OG&E.
So we've been obviously talking about with Eric Musselman and Hunter Yurachek meeting with the media yesterday. And, Tommy, you'll be proud of me because I got to talk with Hunter Yurachek. A little one-on-one action, if you would. After the press conference. He was. In fact, he came and sought me out.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, all right, I'm going to stop you right there. All right, let's not tell lies on this radio station.
Yeah, because we never do that. But no, we talked about it, and he said that he knows me from Twitter and my Twitter stuff. And then I said, well, don't take me too seriously because I wanted to kind of set myself up for failure. But he says, don't worry, I don't take any of you too seriously. So I thought any of you
segmented us all off. Right?
Yeah, I mean, just threw everybody off in there too. So, But that was then the reason I bring that up is just, not, of course, to do a little humble brag, but also the other case of it is to say that
humble.
Yeah, true. But to say that with Hunter Yurachek, that was really the first time that I've personally at least have been able to actually talk to him one-on-one. He hasn't been like Jeff Long where he's just going around this, being that type of athletic director, which is fine. And so, but it was amazing because you could tell that he was about as confident and as excited and as, just like it was like almost like a weight was lifted off the shoulders, and he feels so happy and confident about the guy that he got in Musselman that he was just in a really good mood, and you could tell that this was something that he was glad it was over with, but he was also glad that they ended up getting the guy that he wanted.
Hunter Yurachek has been here for about 16 months now. Is that right? December, about 16 months.
Sounds right to me.
And for the most part has lived in the background, in the shadows of the athletic department. And you're right, fans don't know a lot about him. He's still getting familiar with a lot of people. A lot of people still getting familiar with him. And I'm going to tell you, yesterday he became the AD at Arkansas. I know he's been here for 16 months, but yesterday is when Hunter Yurachek became the captain of the boat.
Yep.
Because a lot of people were still trying to make up their mind about this guy from Houston and what's he about and how's he going to run things. I think he became the captain of the boat yesterday. He is the AD as of yesterday because of the way he finally came out in a situation where he needed to show leadership, and he did.
Yep.
And I think he won a lot of the fan base over just in the way he answered questions and the way he handled himself yesterday in the whole process that seemed shaky, and in the end, Arkansas got a coach that I think people are happy with. I think he became the AD yesterday.
Well, we talked about all last week about how this is such a pivotal decision that he has to make when hiring a coach. Like, it is huge, and I think he did the good job, and I think he did the right guy for sure.
This was a critical moment for him, and he did well.
Yep,
he did well.
No question about it.
It's tax season. It's tax season. Bring your money in and buy tires that you need at Southern Tire Mart, Highway 271 South and 540 in Fort Smith. You can count on Southern Tire Mart for the best in-class service for all of your automotive needs, offering all of America's most trusted tire brands, including their best-selling Toyo tires. So save some money and get great tires right now at Southern Tire Mart. And if you need your oil change, just $24.95. Stop in and see them. Southern Tire Mart, Highway 271 and 540 at Southern Tire Mart.
At Hardee's, we love to surprise people. Not like getting summoned to jury duty or mistaking your backpack for a parachute. Our surprises are good, like adding our delicious loaded omelet biscuit to our 2 for $4 mix and match deal. Choose between our loaded omelet biscuit, our tasty Frisco breakfast sandwich, our bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, or our savory sausage and egg biscuit. Get any 2 for $4. It's the best kind of surprise. I mean, it's no pulling into a paid parking meter, but it's a close second.
Hardee's, because it tastes better.
Offer available for a limited time during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
At Michelob Ultra, we know it's not just about how much you work out every day. It's about how much you work into every day, too. So we brew our beer for those who realize that expending calories should never come at the expense of spending time with friends. Those who understand that just because you work out doesn't mean you can't go out. And that's why we brew Michelob Ultra to have 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, and a crisp, clean taste. Michelob Ultra, brewed for those who live fit, live fun, live ultra. Enjoy responsibly. 2018 Michelob Ultra Light Beer and has a St. Louis, Missouri. 95 calories, 2.6 carbs, 0.6 grams of protein, and 0 grams fat for 12 ounces.
So, how many trucks?
3 one-ton diesels, 7 half-tons, trailers, chippers, then some smaller trucks, cars, and SUVs.
And who takes care of them?
Shoot, we go all over. Have no clue even if they're getting the proper oil or if the wheel bearings on the trailers are ever checked. Total mess.
And how much is that fleet worth?
To me, a lot.
Jody'sAuto.com can do all the service, repairs, maintenance, and tires, gas and diesel, get you in and out quickly at fleet pricing, and track all your vehicles to make sure everything is being done when it's supposed to be done.
Yeah, but my guys want someplace close to them. That's why we go all over the place.
Did I mention Jody'sAuto.com has 3 locations, 2 in Fort Smith and 1 in Van Buren?
Now we are talking. Jody'sAuto.com. Great idea.
The difference between making money and losing your shirt, taking care of your equipment, and keeping your people on the job. Jody'sAuto.com, they can handle it. Gas and diesel, tires, service, repairs, maintenance, towing, in and out quickly. Jody'sAuto.com.
ESPN 95.3. Razorback videos, articles, and podcasts. Find them all at hitthatline.com. This is The Morning Rush.
Welcome back into the Morning Rush on a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out all new 2019 Toyota vehicles at your local Arkansas Toyota dealer, including the Highlander with plenty of room up to 8 people, the stylish new Corolla, the work-ready Family Tough Tundra, and the Go-Anywhere 4Runner. Toyota, let's go places. Hunter Yurachek, when he was talking with the media yesterday, answered a lot of questions about the process of hiring Eric Musselman, all the things that went into it, as well as the firing of Mike Anderson, how difficult a decision that it was to make. But it really comes down to what was it that he liked about Eric Musselman? What was it about Musselman that stood out to him more so than any candidate? And here's what Hunter Yurachek had to say.
They play hard for the entire game. I remember a game a few years ago. I think they were playing Cincinnati in the tournament, and I think Cincinnati may have been up by 20-some points in that game, and they came back in that game. I think they ended up winning that game. And just that they play hard throughout. There's not, they may not play great throughout, but they're always playing hard. And I think that, you look at, I think Nevada had 24 wins in the 2 seasons prior to Coach Musselman's arrival. They haven't won less than 24 games in the 4 seasons since he's been there. And I think that's a testament to him changing the culture of that program and the fact that what he instills in them. And I think just how they played and played hard throughout was one of the things that stuck out in my mind.
So it was funny because Hunter Yurachek talked about how he's a basketball guy. Like, he actually played basketball. Yeah. Basketball is his passion, so he has kind of an eye for it. And when he was watching these teams in these games that some of these coaches, potential coaching candidates, were involved in, when he watched Nevada, that's the key thing he mentioned, not just in that clip, but in a few other clips, of saying that he loved the way how hard they played for the entire game. They didn't give up even when they were down low. And he says that's a culture thing. That's a toughness thing, which is so funny because that was the same thing he talked about with Mike Anderson. Just felt like the team wasn't tough enough, especially when it came down to big stretch. So he wanted a tough coach with a tough team, and I guess Nevada, with what he watched, fits the description of being a tough team.
Yeah, and everything we have heard about Eric Musselman, everything we heard yesterday, everything we have read, all the videos, everything you can research, and you can do a lot online. This guy's got a lot of fire, and he runs a no-nonsense, tough kind of program. I mean, it's got some Bobby Petrino in it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that accurate? Is what I'm saying accurate?
Oh, yeah.
Arkansas hadn't had a basketball coach like that since Nolan Richardson. I mean, think about it. I mean, Stan Heath wasn't that guy. John Pelfrey wasn't that kind of guy. I mean, Mike is a lot more laid back than Nolan. I mean, you just hadn't had the kind of coach that was just tough, no nonsense all the time. You know, up in your just since no one's been that hardcore since Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
So I think preaching toughness, coaching toughness, recruiting toughness. Nolan was even talking about in some of the stuff. I think Bo Mattingly did some stuff with him in some interviews, and Nolan had made some comments about Mike's players not being tough. Like there was only one guy on the team he thought was tough, and it wasn't Gafford. So I mean, one of the things I think people that know and watch and understand it get that Mike didn't have enough tough guys on this team, and I think Musselman's going to put a high value on getting some toughness on this roster.
Now, because if you think about some of the more successful basketball programs in the country right now, I mean, we just had to talk about the criticisms that some were getting after Tom Izzo with the way he approached one of his freshman players there in the NCAA tournament, where he got up in his grill and was screaming at him. I mean, really was an intense situation. And, of course, people were criticizing that and saying that, that's over the top or whatnot, and we could spend a whole show about how that's stupid. But the fact of the matter is that you see that in programs where there's accountability, where it's not just about, putting your arm around them, but there's times where you have to do that, and there's times where you got to get in their grill. And there's times, depending on who the player is, where you have to bring them up and have to make them mentally and physically tough in these games, and there's certain ways that you can go about doing it. And the fact of the matter is like people say you can recruit great players, you can recruit toughness, and I think that's the case, but it's also about the culture of the program that you have. And when you go out and you recruit a player that comes into your program, immediately they have to adapt that culture. They're going to get left behind. And if the culture is preaching of toughness and where toughness is everything, they're either going to have to adapt that toughness or they're going to get eaten alive. And you see that so many times in big-time basketball programs. You mentioned Duke. You mentioned North Carolina. I mean, do you think Roy Williams and Coach K, are those guys just, kind of happy-go-lucky, put your arm around the guys? No, you've seen them get intense and have intense moments. And those are the types of programs that have the most toughness that goes along with them, at least in most cases. And of course, they have the talent to go with them, and I know there's a lot more going along with it. But I have just never really seen many basketball teams or even football teams or just teams in general that have been consistently successful at the highest of levels with a coach that did not preach and create a culture of toughness. That it's just so vital and important to have that when it comes to sports. And like you said, Tommy, Arkansas really has not had a true culture like that. They've had people that have moments where they get heated, but a true culture of toughness and preaching that since Nolan Richardson had left.
There's physical toughness and there's mental toughness. And we've had Tyler, many times talk here on the show about the mental side of it with his days with Bobby Petrino and how, all of this stuff and the way Petrino coached players, while it seemed very cruel to some and while some could not understand what was going on with what just seemed to be haphazard anger, it was all calculated in building mental toughness, and in the toughest moments you had what you needed to get through it. And, you can't argue with the results that Arkansas got in that period. Now, the problem is when you burn that white hot for so long, when it all comes crashing down, it usually gets ugly. So there has to be a balance to all of that. And you got to be able to listen to the people around you. And so it can't be 1,000% that way. Mm-hmm. So there has to be some balance in all that. There's got to be some hugs to go along with the kicks. And so, it'll be interesting to see how he balances the hugging and the kicking in the rear all at the same time, because coaches got to do that. But I just don't think Arkansas has had a coach that toughness was a priority since Nolan. I mean, that's my perception at least.
Yeah, and you
may disagree and others may disagree with what I'm saying, but that's my opinion. Is toughness. They hadn't had a tough coach, and we'll see if this guy turns out to be. But that's his reputation. Is he's a no nonsense, tough kind of guy, and that's, I think, exactly what Arkansas is needing.
Well, and it's about the connection that you make as a coach with your players, where it's a relationship that you have. And I think that there are once you have that connection with them, you will know how to push them. You'll know how hard to push them. You'll know exactly how to approach them into making them into those tough players. And I'm not saying that Mike Anderson didn't have that, but I feel like by and large there were a few players throughout that roster that I don't think they had felt that connection. They didn't have that sort of connection that you see among other really successful coaches with their players too, and that's what you're hoping that you get with Musselman. Is not only is he able to recruit some big-time players, but he has a connection and relationship with them that can be built upon years and years and make them into better people, not only on the court but off the court as well.
It's a lot easier to show tough love and tough discipline to a player when they know you care about them. They got to know you love them. They got to know that their best interest is what you have in mind. So, and you can only do that through time and building that relationship. So that's got to be like job one. You can't come out, in these first, off-season practices and start yelling and screaming and tightening the screws with all this tough love, if you will. You got to build the relationship. You got to let them know you care about them. And these are guys you're starting with from right here that you didn't recruit, that, you're their new coach. And, it all began the other night with that dinner at Hunter Yurchek's house. And that's where, he was talking about he wanted to eat dinner with those guys and spend more time, as he said, downstairs with the players than upstairs with the adults. And that was important to him. And I thought that said a lot about him understanding the dynamics of it all and what it's all about. And it's those players and building those relationships with those guys that mean the most right now.
I'll be curious to see how the players respond to Musselman, to see if all of them stay, if all of them want to be a part of the program for the foreseeable future, because that I'm sure that there's some guys that still aren't sure. I mean, let's be honest. He just got hired the other day. I mean, there's going to be some time, and Musselman even alluded to that when he was talking with him. He was like, hey, I got to earn your trust. And this is not something that's going to happen overnight. So, we got to be around each other. We got to do some things on the court, and we got to do some things off the court so I can get to know you. And I'll be curious to see what players buy in or who buys in and how it ends up going, and especially with some of the new recruits that come in. Because I think there are a few players, like you saw somebody like Mason Jones who seemed all in on Musselman, who was really impressed by him. You saw some of the players tweeting out that they have, they're excited to see where it goes. But you also have some players that you just don't know about. So it'll be interesting to see too how the change in culture and terminology was one of the things that Musselman brought up as well with his players, of how that's going to impact a few of these players and if they're going to be able to stick around. Because that's the thing too, Tommy, is that as a new coach, we saw with Chad Morris, when you come in and you put in a new culture, sometimes it doesn't always go according to plan. Sometimes there's not players that completely buy into it for whatever reason. I think it's a little easier in basketball because there's less amount of players that you have to deal with. But if they don't buy in, it can be disastrous. So I'll be curious to see how many players buy in and what type of results will come from it, because without them buying into Musselman, it's going to be a disaster in year one.
Yeah, and, we've seen it with Chad Morris. He had to make some changes quickly in roster and purge some players and overhaul the culture. It may end up being that. We don't know yet. Time will tell. Maybe there will be a quick buy-in and everybody gets in the circle. That's going to be a telltale deal. But the thing that Eric Musselman can't do is waver on his beliefs. And, it's going to be an interesting follow the next year or so to see what happens within the walls of that program.
Yep. So we'll have to wait and see. And I think it's going to be a lot of excitement for Razorback fans entering in the first season of Eric Musselman. see how he does in recruiting. You see what players stay and how they buy in. Once those pieces all come together, we'll be able to have a little bit of an idea of what to expect in year one under Eric Musselman. We got to take a commercial break, get into the final segment here of the Morning Rush. But before we get out of here, though, we're going to tell you about the Ritchie Bros.
Yeah, if you own a construction company, oil field company, companies that use heavy equipment, bulldozers, excavators, all types of trucks, all kinds of heavy equipment, and you have older equipment you need to liquidate, and you'd like to do it quickly and efficiently, that's where Ritchie Brothers and Iron Planet can help you do that. They've been doing this for 60 years around the world with on-site auctions, online marketplaces to get your items to buyers and get you the most money. They can come to your site and sell your items, and they can do that quickly with an on-site auction, unreserved on-site auction. They can do a weekly online auction and put your items in that. They do that every week. Reserved online marketplaces to make sure you get a minimum amount for your item. Call David Lee. Talk about the options you have for selling the items you need to get moved so you can get a newer model, newer items that you need to get to make your company more efficient, more profitable. David's number is 479-322-2052. That's 479-322-2052. He can tell you how it works. Or find out more about Ritchie Brothers and Iron Planet and this whole company online at RitchieBros.com. That's Ritchie, BROS.com.
Honest Razorback talk that never yields. This is the Morning Rush.
Start your summer with a splash and big savings on Doughboy Above Ground Swimming Pools. For a limited time, you can save $500 on your purchase of a full Doughboy pool package, including pool, liner, pump, and filter. Invest in a refreshing and relaxing pool for your family and experience the Doughboy difference of unmatched quality, longevity, and safety. Visit BurtonPools.com and get your $500 coupon and see Burton Pools and Spas, 6121 0 Street at Fort Smith. Burton Pools and Spas, your source for backyard fun.
Great houses start with a great foundation, and that foundation starts with a mortgage from OneTrust Home Loans, offering low rates and personalized, creative home lending solutions. And our decisions are made quickly, so you can move into your dream home sooner. OneTrust Home Loans has provided that foundation of great homes throughout the state of Arkansas and Missouri. Hi, this is Matt Fowler with OneTrust Home Loans. The home buying process can be stressful, but I am here to make sure that your loan process goes fast, easy, smooth as possible, and we close your loan on time. We have years of experience in diverse loan programs offering FHA, VA, conventional, and 0% down payment programs. Don't be sorry. Start your mortgage foundation right. Call OneTrust Home Loans today at 870-600-0063 or visit us in Mountain Home, Harrison, Rogers, or Clinton.
NMLS 46375, an equal housing lender.
Not satisfied with your new vehicle shopping experience? STP Auto Sales in Bentonville provides a fair experience to everyone. They used to go new vehicle shopping and decided they could do it better. Go to stpautosales.com, choose a vehicle that fits your needs, see if it's available, and ask for a quote and apply for the loan. Pricing sets STP Auto Sales apart from other pre-owned dealers. No high pressure, low prices, convenience of finding what you want online, and a guaranteed satisfying experience. Go to stpautosales.com today. STP, the new way to buy your next vehicle.
This is the Morning Rush.
Is your home at least 10 years old and served by OG&E? OG&E is offering Arkansas customers a free weatherization program to increase your comfort and lower your bills. A trained crew will perform an energy audit at no cost to you, and if your home qualifies, our crews will install measures that will save you money. The services provided through this program are absolutely free to qualifying homes. If you could benefit from free home weatherization improvements, call OG&E at 1-800-272-9741. That's 1-800-272-9741.
Hi everyone, this is Scott, and right now catfish is something special at Calico County. Whether you like it crispy fried, grilled, or blackened, all of our catfish is currently available at a special price. We'll cook it the way you like it and then serve it with 2 sides and rolls. You can also have our same great fish served on a hoagie roll with slaw and our own remoulade. Our catfish po' boy is on special as well. So roll on in to Calico County for great catfish at a great price. Calico County, just off Rogers Avenue, behind Randall Ford.
Hi, I'm Jack with Arvest Bank. My goal today? Play an epic drum solo. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Sorry about that. maybe I should have let an expert help me accomplish my goal. And for your financial goals, Arvest is the expert. We can help you rock out buying a new home in no time. Get pre-qualified in person or on your phone. When it comes to your finances, trust the experts. Trust Arvest, Equal Housing Lender.
Spring is in the air. Not in the house, Dalton. Okay, AJ. Aw, snap, I told you not in the house. Red Kool-Aid all over the white carpet. Mom and Dad are gonna... Okay, AJ. I can't believe it. We're so in trouble. I told you so.
Thank you for calling Service Master Clean. This is Tanya. How can I help you?
Tanya, it's Dalton. For the clean you expect and the service you deserve. Think Service Master Clean. Visit us online at smcleanonline.com.
Got a mystery stain on the carpet and the kids insist they don't know what it is? Or you're just ready to give the house a good spring cleaning? Call Service Master Clean at 646-4087. Call today for spring specials.
Service Master Clean. For the clean you expect and the service you deserve. It's okay, AJ.
Spring into color at the Paint Store in Van Buren. Your favorite choice for inspiration in choosing those vibrant colors from Richards Paints to finish your warm weather renovations. The Paint Store in Van Buren is contractor friendly and special orders don't upset them. Sue and Vicky, with over 30 years of experience, welcome all your painting questions and will help you feel confident in your choices of Richards Paints. The Paint Store is at 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren. Come and see them or check them out on Facebook today.
ESPN 95.3.
I'm in a hurry to get things done. Oh, I rush until life's no fun. All I really gotta do is live and die, but I ain't.
Get after the guys on Twitter at Rush John Neighbors and at Tommy Kraft ESPN. This is The Morning Rush.
Final segment of The Morning Rush, and it is brought to you by Williams Tractor.
Hey, already that grass is growing, those weeds growing out there. You're going to have to get it mowed. And Williams Tractor in Fayetteville and Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers has Big Dog Mowers ready to help you get that perfect-looking yard this year. Big Dog Mowers has an industry-leading 7-year limited warranty, and prices start at $23.99, or choose 0% financing for 48 months and 0 down with approved credit. Stop by and see everything they got to offer. Williams Tractor in Fayetteville, Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers right now, and check out all the Big Dog Mowers. And oh, by the way, if you're in the military or you've served in the military or you're a first responder, you can take advantage of Big Dog's Hero program and get 10% off of your next mower. All the details are at Williams Tractor. They're in Fayetteville or Bobcat of Northwest Arkansas and Rogers today.
So we've been talking a little bit about the national championship from last night. Virginia, the victors over Texas Tech, going to overtime. Luckily, Lubbock did not burn down. I think that was at least my biggest concern of if Texas Tech would have won it. But now Virginia joins the ranks, and it was a really cool story to see them bounce back from – I mean, let's be honest, it was an embarrassment last season where they were the first 1 seed to ever lose to a 16 seed, and then they bounced back and ended up winning the national championship this year too. But if you think about Tommy, what they needed in this NCAA tournament alone to get to the point where they're at, because I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but
team ever.
I mean, if you think about it, just in the Final Four game against Auburn with the foul call late, Auburn wins that game if the foul's not committed. They win that game. If you even go back to the game that they played against Purdue. I mean, for crying out loud, it was just like that was one of the best games of all of March Madness, and it kept going back and forth, and there were some miracle plays that needed to be happened in that game. So, I mean, it's never easy winning the national championship in college basketball, but there's no doubt that Virginia definitely had something on their side. The basketball gods were looking upon them, something like that, because – boy, they sure had it going for them. They had all the balls bounced the right way for them.
Absolutely. And, team of destiny, I don't know if that's the right way to put it, but you always look back, and there's usually one game, sometimes two, that a national championship team escaped out of a game. But you're right, there was like 3 chances, including last night, that they should have been eliminated, and they weren't. So Virginia, what a redemption story. To go from the embarrassment, the ultimate embarrassment in college basketball last year to because they weren't just a 1 seed, they were the 1 seed.
Yeah.
And to go from that to a national championship is quite a turnaround story for the wine and cheese school at Virginia.
Yeah, so. and everybody that was all upset because Duke and Zion Williamson weren't in there, just buzz off. Who cares? It was a great game and ended up being a great matchup. So in other news, too, this is big, Tommy. This is big news, all right? Johnny Manziel went on Dan Patrick's show yesterday. And here's how the interview started, because this is big.
Good morning, Johnny. How are you?
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing.
I got a little update for you. I actually go by John these days, so I'm just kind of turning over the page and moving forward a little bit.
So it's not Johnny Manziel, it's not Johnny Football, Tommy. It's John Manziel.
Well,
doesn't have
at
the same
some point,
ring to it.
You can't be. There's not many adults that go by Johnny. I know Johnny Carson did, but you're John Neighbors, right?
That's right.
You're not Johnny Neighbors.
Oh,
at some point,
never
Johnny is not a. Unless you're Johnny Carson, Johnny's not really a. I mean, name me how many adults that you take serious do you call Johnny?
I like how you said it take serious as the first thing. I mean, I don't know any. Of course, I don't know anybody Johnny, period. Like Johnny Manziel was the only one I wrote.
So Johnny's kind of a kid's name,
but it's a brand though, man. It's Johnny Manziel, Johnny Football.
I don't disagree, and I would not change it.
Yeah.
But I get what he's got this bad boy image that if he's ever going to have a life beyond football of selling brands and being an endorser, I'm sure someone has told him to do this. Some brand coach, some agent, someone has coached him to do this. He didn't just wake up yesterday and talk to Dan Patrick and dream that up. Someone coached him to do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to start calling you Tom Kraft. Try to get rid of your bad boy image there, Tommy.
Hey, I'll never live up to the original Tom Kraft Sr., I promise you.
Yeah, well, there you have it. Appreciate everybody listening in today. It's been a fun-filled show. It'll be another fun-filled show tomorrow morning. Be sure to join us. Have a great day, everybody.